We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello, welcome to Icons to Primes, here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'm your GM for the day, Jason, and with me as usual will be Mike as Transmuter,
Hello.
Curtis as Seth Agua,
Hola.
and Zach as Helios.
Thank you for joining us.
We are short one player, but we shall persevere. Alright, who remembers what happened last time?
We found Dad in a secret government facility disguised as a farm.
The facility is disguised as a farm, not the premise.
That was totally how I was just picturing it too.
His secret superpower, barn vision.
He's dressed like middle-aged Clark Kent in overalls.
That's right.
You know how earlier off camera I was saying that yes, indeed, we can get too weird? This is kind of what I was talking about. But yes, you were investigating the data from Professor Possible's sensory array. You went to check out one of the large signatures he'd picked up. It looked like a farm from the outside. Then you discovered the robot cow. Which was some kind of surveillance equipment. You get down under the base. You run into some armored individuals. You manage to talk your way out of a fight with them. And you converse with Agent...
Was it Tolliver?
I think it was. Yes.
It was either Tolliver or the other guy.
Davies is a liaison with Spear. Tolliver was the one overseeing this.
Yeah. I always forget which one's the liaison and which one's kind of the field agent. So yes, discussion with Agent Tolliver. Things seem to be going to end peacefully. One moment.
Oh, I remember how this went south.
Yeah, Puppet just made one little comment as a joke.
Yeah, Puppet just figured the whole thing out and guessed that they had the Primus there.
Not even believing it at the time, just popping wise with him about getting the Primus back.
This is what happens when you joke during game sessions.
So the fight breaks out. I want to say Transmuter turns the entire base into transparent aluminum.
Yep, the old
which has become one of her favorite tricks. And yes, they saw the Primus in a container in another section. Seth Agua activated his fear power, and everybody in the base, including his teammates, ran away.
Oh yeah, everyone's succumbed to fear.
Scared the snot out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Seth goes down to try to get his dad out of the tank. And then a couple of party crashers show up in the form of Imperator and Tsar.
And they took him.
The Basiletes.
Some in the media have begun referring to them as the August.
Oh, the August, okay.
Since they've both taken imperial sounding names.
Oh, sure.
And the Primus did mention something about seeing gods behind the stars. Something along that lines.
I believe his quote was, "My stars, it's full of gods."
That's right. I forgot about that. That's an important bit.
And Seth said he could hear him because he's always been tormented by well, either he's insane or he's been tormented by the power primeval.
Maybe it's just him. He just blames it on the power.
Yeah. It's not clear.
But so you had Seth had a brief scuffle with the two of them.
Did not last long.
Wound up getting knocked out, and they made their way off with the Primus.
But we did confirm that Seth has just enough muscle to make him feel a hit.
Yeah.
At least his slashing power does.
He's got a.
Yes. Oh yeah, they definitely felt it.
He's got a little bit of a bite.
And where they tried to use their power nullification, it made Reg disappear temporarily. But it did not affect Seth doing anything else with his powers. Which is why they had to resort to punching. It turns out Seth was not immune to their punching.
But I think he took 2 hits, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I don't think they took you down in one.
It's actually pretty hard to take out someone in just one hit outside of like Mook rules.
Well, I just remember how tough the Basilisk or Basilisk. I always get it.
The word is pronounced Vasilif or
Vasilif.
Vasilifs, but it's spelled with like B's and there's an S on the end, but it's not plural.
He was so tough. He was taking out our heroes just boom, 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 one at a time with one hit, pretty much.
Oh yeah, even if you took away his power nullification, he could throw one hell of a punch.
But yeah, the big thing at the conclusion of season 2 was he was doing that power nullification thing every round.
Yeah.
And a lot of heroes can't take much of a punch with their powers turned off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of amazed Jack stayed in the fight for 2 rounds.
Whippet was there the entire time, I think.
Her powers were too great to be turned off.
I feel like Whippet should be played by a young Yvonne Craig. I can just totally see that.
I'll have to Google that after.
That could have been a good one. Yeah. She had a little more hasty capabilities. She could have been a good character for our next arc.
All right, but the rest of you eventually shook off the fear. You went and gathered up Seth. And you were basically cowering in different parts of the base, so some of you could still kind of see some of this that was going on. Sharon, saw them fly in, saw them fly off. She's coming in to pick y'all up. Is there anything else you want to do in this base before you leave?
I want to take out my work phone, my superhero work phone, and I'm just going to quickly start recording everything, just making a video that I'm going to be uploading to off-brand TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, everything.
TalkTick,
you're gonna pull in the pants.
I'm just gonna be. Hey, it's Helios here. So we're here in a secret spear facility where they were keeping, guess who? The Primus in this tube here. Yes, they were. And I'm gonna try and find Professor Classified and grab him by the back of his neck and just start interrogating him on camera about what the fudge they were doing here, with the biggest smile on my face as I just keep myself from just caving in his neck.
All right, give me willpower to intimidate him. If you have any sort of intimidation skill, that would factor in.
I'm going to refrain from burning a determination point, but
What? Would you like to take some trouble to give yourself advantage?
Yes, I would, actually.
I want to make sure that Seth drags the cow in front of the camera too. Look at this robot cow, man. There ain't nothing these guys won't do.
The Boston Dynamic logo when you peel back the fake skin.
Stock just plummeting.
Or investors look
backing up.
Or investors look at that and go, "Ooh, that's a really good surveillance cow."
Right.
It could go either way.
But yes, I would like to take some trouble. Give myself a little bonus to that roll.
All right. What sort of trouble?
I'm gonna say the U.S. government is now all eyes on Helios.
We'll go with that.
I
And
will be making a.
I will
Go ahead.
spring what that actually means on you later in session. All right, but give me so. I assume you're going to use that to tap the. Knows exactly how scary he can be.
Sure, yes. So. Boop. 7. Still not a great roll, but better than the last time.
All right.
Oh, I hope this is not foreshadowing of how the rest of the session's gonna be.
Just 1 second.
The last session is always, who lives, who dies, and the dice say die.
Burned my advancements to let me punch through a mountain. Now I can't hit crap today.
All right. So I got a 9. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I rolled too high, or too high a. I gave the guy too high a skill or a stat. He has a 2, not a 3 in willpower. Okay. So he got a 5. You got a 7. He's stuttering. He's tripping over himself. He's really not supposed to talk about it. Look, he wasn't conscious when we found him.
Where'd you find him, buddy?
Where was it I said this signature had started at? I think it appeared over the Gulf of Mexico.
It?
His signature when he popped back up.
The energy signature that you follow this place appeared over the Gulf, and then it slowly moved up to, relatively slowly, had moved up to where y'all, up to this facility, basically. And what he gives you is basically, they had picked him up, crashing into the Gulf, or something crashing into the Gulf. When they went to check it out, they found the Primus floating on the surface.
And how long ago was that?
A few months.
They couldn't even be bothered to contact his next of kin.
We've never been officially declared as next of kin.
Yeah, and the doctor doesn't even go into
Sharon.
any of that. But how much of that does the government know? But so they brought him here. They've been working on him, and he's been having power fluctuations. He he didn't regain consciousness. He hasn't regained consciousness. And he asked you, not to hurt him.
I'm not gonna hurt you, buddy. So just, why didn't you contact, any of his known allies? Say the Crucible, or literally anyone. Oh, wait, the Crucible's off planet right now, isn't he?
I have no idea. They just hired me to come in and try to study the energy he was giving off.
Fascinating. So you have spent the last however long poking and prodding the world's greatest superhero learning how to exploit his powers, huh? Dude we all thought was dead died saving the universe. Look, and you've been keeping him in a tube like a rat.
It was the safest way to store him. He's giving off pulses of energy periodically in an uncontrolled fashion.
In a destructive way?
Yes. And we, not my department. As far as contacting people he knew, I don't know who he knows. It's not my department. I'm just a doctor.
Fascinating.
that would
How
have been.
destructive are these pulses?
It varies greatly. Sometimes it would just bump you back a step. Sometimes it would throw you across the room. He destroyed some equipment one time.
Okay, so not steady leveling yet.
If Transmuter actually asked it, he's like, "Oh no, nothing on that sort of colossal scale." We were worried that it might be building up to that, but it seems to just be kind of random in strength.
You know, Helios, your questions might be better aimed towards Agent Tolliver. Has anyone seen him around here?
Oh, he's still laying there unconscious. Y'all knocked him out.
Okay.
Can any of us wake him up?
Oh, sure, y'all. Puppet's there. Puppet can do healing, so yeah. So yeah, he wakes up. It's the first time you've ever seen him without his glasses. Really, I think that any of your characters have seen him without his sunglasses on.
He's just like us. Well, kind of.
But he looks at you. Helios, he sees Puppet. He turns. He looks at Helios. He sees Helios with his phone out. And then he just does the slow head turn to the doctor. What did you tell them?
I drop the doctor and slide right up to him and pull him in close by his shoulders, squeezing nice and tight, get him in good in frame. And this is Agent Tolliver. He was overseeing this for shadowy members of the United States' own government.
Is Reg back?
If you've tried to call him back, he is.
Yeah, I want Reg to snuggle up to Tolliver and lick him on the face. I'm sure Tolliver would appreciate that.
He does not look like he appreciates it.
So Tolliver, how about you tell us as much as you want, and I advise that you tell us a whole bunch about what's been going on here.
All right. Helios, I'm about to need you to make a roll.
Can I aid in that interrogation attempt, in the questioning?
Oh, yeah.
In a moment, when y'all make a roll for that, sure.
Okay.
I will too, because...
Yeah, I've got that teamwork knack.
I'm hoping that Tolliver already is intimidated or pissed off at me anyway.
He's about to try some brain control stuff.
Okay, Helios, I need a willpower out of you.
Roll a 6. Roll a 6. Crap.
Oh, 6, 1, whatever.
They're close.
So, Helios, you're threatening him, that you better tell us a lot. He just turns, and he turns, he focuses his eyes on you, he gets his little smirk on his face. What would you like to know, Dan?
Ooh.
I can tell people all sorts of things.
I take off my helmet and drop it on the ground, and then take off the little under mask, the little sweat guard, and drop it on the ground. You
This
ain't
got real.
got shit over me.
And for a moment, he looks like he doesn't know what to do from here. This was not how this was supposed to go. So now, if y'all would like to make your willpower roll to interrogate him, I guess Zach would be making the roll.
Yeah, we're going to help.
Yeah, Transmuter, what are you doing to help intimidate or?
I'm going to let's see. What am I doing? I might just since Helios seems to be taking the brash intimidation route, I might just not use my powers yet, but at least generate the signature energy glow that indicates the transmutation is on the way, just for intimidation purposes.
Okay, that's fine.
And if I succeed in this, I'll add a +2 instead of a +1, thanks to my teamwork knack, which I have to keep remembering to use. So let's see what happens here.
Well, for his roll, if you're aiding him, it just gives him a +2 on his roll for the effort.
Oh, okay, that's all it is. Okay.
Yeah. If you're in combat and trying to add to damage, then it's a +1.
Okay.
Still an effort if you're helping to hit, but just a +1 to the damage if you're helping with the damage.
Okay. Yeah, I just like to help with the hit, I guess.
Okay.
The social hit, as it were.
And Seth, Curtis, Seth has got Reg up there, like licking on his face and being all monstrous, right?
Yeah, I basically I'll help Helios by we can play bad cop and even badder cop.
All right.
Just trying to creep Tolliver out. And
so the first person that helps gives them a +2. Then you have to have 2 people to give them the next +2.
Oh.
So Puppet will step up next to you and I guess start talking about how the fact that not to worry about Reg. He can heal anything Reg bites off.
Nice.
So Zach, you're making this roll. Whatever your usual power roll is, +4.
Oh, so I rolled a 10 then.
It's like, no, Reg, that's not a finger.
All right, so you've got a total of a 10. Tolliver's got a decent wheel. Oh, but you still get a major success. All right, so a major success. I'm trying to figure out what information he would give away. He responds with anger. He kind of snaps. He goes off. All of you, are dangerous to national security. The Primus was getting bitter in his old age, and now with him exploding periodically, God only knows what's going to happen. With all the heroes
that bitterness?
With most of Spears' heroes and others off in space, if the Doctor could figure out how to produce superhumans, then America could defend itself and the rest of the planet from any threats.
So it sounds like to me you're making excuses for trying to find a way to turn the Primus, who is sick, into a machine to make super soldiers for the United States military.
The good of the many outweighs the needs of the few.
Do not quote Gene Roddenberry at me.
At this point, he seems to realize how much he's given away, and he kind of shuts down. Though he does look directly at your camera. These were my concerns, and I was acting on my own, using resources, basically using his government resources to do this all on his own, using his position. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Basically, he throws him. He's throwing himself on the sword, trying to take the blame for it all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the moms and dads and kiddies at home will totally believe you. And I just shove him into a wall and just upload everything. Just start uploading.
Yeah, you got a signal here. Now that the roof is torn off the place. So yeah, you upload it all. Sharon comes by, picks you all up. She is.
I think someone's probably going to get demoted.
She's not sure if the taking off your mask and stuff was necessarily a good idea. But you know, you can always edit the video before you upload it.
Oh, I already uploaded it. And I'm just calling my mom and saying, "Hey, mom, remember that gun you were thinking about buying? You should probably go ahead and buy it. Don't worry, it's things went kind of crazy with my other job, the superhero thing. I may have made some rash decisions. Oh, we found Cliff. Cliff's alive. I'll fill you in later whenever we find him, whenever we get him back. Yeah, he's been kidnapped. Love you too, Mom. Bye. Just hang up.
You had to when you said you made some rash decisions. It's like you heard this weird echo of two different voices going, "What did you do?" One of them was definitely from the other side of the phone. One of them may have been from here in the cab with you, or in the sedan with you. But by the time you turn around, Sharon is just already pulling up your YouTube and Facebook stuff. Now, where did you post this to, or who did you send this to?
I uploaded this to basically everything. I TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, any social media site, any video hosting site that isn't, X-rated, adults only kind of thing.
All right. So Dan did not use just all of his personal stuff. He was just throwing it out there to anybody that could host it. Okay.
Yeah.
You were pretty sure you're giving Sharon a headache. But she's like, well, on the plus side, at least you were filming him when you took the mask off, so nobody except him got a good look at your face.
Unless they zoom in on his pupil and see the reflection.
Cell phone cameras are good. I don't think they're that good.
Ah, gotcha.
Tolliver knowing your name is a bad thing, but if we're lucky, that's all he got. She's heard rumors of the CIA at one time having a handful of psychic agents.
He was psychic?
It's possible. He may have simply plucked your first name out of your head.
Ah. I thought they just had good intel. Okay. Seems like cheating.
Well, it's the CIA. That's what they were put together to do.
It's a cheat.
That is true.
Well, all right, kids. What do you want to do now?
We need to find Papa.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember how we don't have a currently working power primeval detector, right? We're just working off the data that had been recorded up to this point,
Right.
By what was wrecked in Professor Possible's lab.
Right. The machine had been set up to record, what it picks up, and y'all had that recording from, way back when Possible first built the thing, up until Leisure Domain unplugged it.
We do know from what we pulled from that machine that the Vassalites seem to be bunkering down in the Everglades, so they might be heading back there with the Primus.
Sure.
That was your working theory, yes, because that was the next most powerful signal.
That we almost went.
But occasionally that signal would split into two and move around. So
it was moving, so we didn't go there first. We went to the strong signal that was stationary.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like we're going to the Everglades.
Yeah, get your waders on.
I'm gonna try and call Siphon from the MDM with that number that I texted her with.
Okay. It rings until it eventually goes to message.
Siphon, this is Helios. We have a hell of a situation. I just explain what's going on with the Vassalites, and I tell them we're about to go confront them where we think they are. They have the Primus. We would like some backup because this could be a bad situation. And if you come in, Helios, someone who can wade through gunfire just short of 50 caliber AP like it's rain and punch through half a mountain, will owe the MDM a favor to be repaid at a later date, with the stipulation that it cannot involve direct murder.
Okay. Is there anybody else you'd like to contact?
I'm gonna call send a message to Technicky and give her the same deal. Hey, we would like some backup, and I will owe you a favor, and with the same, reminder of just how powerful I am.
All right. Technicky gets back to you before you're about halfway to Florida. When Technicky gets back with you, she doesn't know about fighting something like the Vasilef, but yeah, I mean, but she's willing to do what she can. Since the news is all talking about how that guy was kind of a world ender, and now if there's two of them.
No point in contacting Spear because we've already made enemies of them.
And they have no superpowered assets at the moment anyway.
I'll just let her know, hey, come in, do some strafing runs. If things get hairy, bounce. I don't expect you to stick around.
No, you give her the coordinates.
Yeah.
Okay. She gives you an ETA. She will get there after the rest of you do. Just given where she's at. But the Mutant Defense Militia, you get a call back, but it's not Siphon on the phone. It's Grim Noir.
Hello, sir.
What exactly is going down?
I explain, what we've learned, that the Primus is alive. He's been kept, in a tube being experimented on by Spear because his powers he's been emitting, destructive bursts. The Vassalites appeared, kidnapped him, and we're gonna go confront them and try to get him back and stop them because these two might be potential world enders. Like, we don't know if they're trying to take over the world or if they're trying to get back in touch with the Vassalite's master. But they are not they're not
good people.
No, they do not have good intentions for humanity.
The rest of his team is not hyped to go do this.
I understand. This is a nasty situation.
But he will see what he can do to talk him into it.
I remind him, I will owe the MDM a favor.
Well, all right, he'll see what he can do. He can't make any promises, but he'll see what he can scrape together.
All right.
All right, so you make your way down to the coordinates in the Everglades. you find it's kind of it's a clearing. The ground is fairly solid here. It's like a slightly, it's raised slightly, surrounded by, woods and swamp. Sharon just sort of buzzes over the top of it and teleports you down. And there is garbage, for lack of a better word. Leftover food containers are laying around. You find several diesel-powered generators. There is an old like cargo container that looks like it's been used, as shelter. And the grass and ground is kind of beat down and squashed in several areas, like they were some sort of large equipment here at one point. But it's gone. The generators aren't actually plugged into anything. It definitely looks like somebody was camping here and doing something.
And they've moved on.
Going through the cargo container, like I said, you can see where they converted it into a dwelling. But there's also what looks like a bunch of spare computer components are in there. Going through the piles of trash, you find containers and packaging for various high-tech equipment.
Would I be able to surmise what they were trying to construct with the various components and packaging that had been left lying around? Combined with what we already... Yeah, just what I can surmise from everything that they've left.
Okay, give me an intellect. If you've got technology, you can throw that in there.
Would I be able to add investigation to that too? Or just one specialty per roll?
One specialty per roll, but I'll let you throw in whichever one is higher.
All right, so let's just go with technology.
Okay.
Oof, still not great.
All right. So you tied. They got a 9, or the difficulty I rolled was a 9, and you got a 9, so that's a tie. So there are some of these parts, some of this equipment they clearly stole because some of it's not really available, like for sale. But it's all kind of really high-end stuff for studying energy, manipulating energy. You have no idea what kind of energy they'd be interested in. Well, I mean, you probably do, but the equipment itself doesn't give you any hints as to what kind of energy they're interested in. That's about the best you're going to get with the tie.
Are there any computer terminals left plugged in, or anything like that where we could just take back to the base, plug back up, and start going over them?
No, it's all just scraps and leavings and spare parts, burned out pieces.
Damn.
You're there for you've been doing all this work in the clearing. You hear the sound like small jets overhead. Technique lands.
I wave at her.
She waves at you. Hey, everybody.
I'll whisper in Helios's ear. I don't think they're coming back.
No, probably not. Well, don't think we're going to be doing any fighting just right now, but we think they were studying. This is where they're camped out. We think they were trying to study some kind of energy with, just everything they left lying around. I know my way around a computer science lab, and you probably know a little bit more than I do. You think you can figure out what they might have been trying exactly what they might have been trying to study here?
She's like, without whatever they had, it's gonna be hard. But she starts going through the packagings and stuff, trying to see what it was they had. Go ahead and give me a D6 roll for her.
All right.
I'll just use the same difficulty for earlier.
Oof.
Okay. She's got an intelligence of 7 though, and the tech specialty. So that would be an 8 for her plus the 2 you rolled for. So that gets her to a 10. So 1 better. That gives her a moderate success. With the stuff they've got here, she figures they could both disperse and concentrate energy. That it could kind of do either.
And now they have
maybe even separate energy source, disperse it out and then refocus it in kind of multiple locations or multiple streams would be, I guess, the term she'd use. She's using a bunch of techno babble that I'm not going to bother trying to come up with.
Oh God, they're gonna try and eat Cliff.
Oh, that's horrible. Who's Cliff?
Don't worry about it.
Well,
Until you absolutely do, in which case, let's hope we can fix this before it goes bad. Badder.
She's like, well, what are we gonna do now? And why are they wanting to eat? Never mind.
Cliff's powers are running wild. He is extremely, extremely powerful, and he is powered by something similar to what the Vassalites are powered by. So I think they might either be trying to absorb his power, or they're going to try and use that power to open a door back to the Quill Kick. And yeah, I just explained the Quill Kick was the technical term for the creatures that almost ate reality a little while ago.
Oh yeah, she'd heard about that. She wasn't really sure she believed it. But she's like, oh yeah, the Primus died taking those guys out, didn't he?
Yeah. Don't go to YouTube for a little bit, all right?
Oh.
He's fine. He's
okay.
Fine. Ish.
And standing close to her, you can see just a little bit of light on the moving around in her visor. You're pretty sure she pulled up YouTube on her heads-up display.
I won't comment on it.
Your name's Dan?
Is there anything wrong with Dan? Like, yeah, my full name's Daniel. Like,
I don't know, such an ordinary name, for Helios.
yeah, the Helios thing was kind of, just branding, Half this gig is, the look.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, Batman is just Bruce, so yeah. Then she gives a start. Oh crap! Something's going on in Miami.
Define what?
An attack by lizard men.
Okay, sure, why not? We'll go take care of that. We'll give you a call if we need more help. Standing offer of I owe you a favor will be in place.
Oh, hey, we were talking about the Vassalites, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that lizard guy that was working with the news guys are calling him Chrome or something.
Oh, crap. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Why not? Sure.
Apparently he got busted out of some facility. And now he's like turning people into lizard people or something.
Oh, is this the space pirate?
No, this was the lizard guy who came with the
Oh,
Vasilef
right.
and
Yeah.
Reliquary? Yes, Reliquary.
Yes, he was one of the
Oh, heavens.
Heartbreakers. He was the one that could like infect other people and kind of mutate them out and control them.
I remember now. I don't remember the name, but I remember the character.
Actually, do I have art for him? Yeah, I've got a token for him, but not just a picture. I can throw it for you right quick. But yeah, he's running around in Miami apparently.
Was that invasion coming out of the ocean? I forget what his, or was it just out of the ground? I can't remember his modus operandi.
He was running around in Seattle. He was the one that was fighting Dynaman when the Vasilef showed up and turned Dynaman's powers off. And then y'all fought him in the Seattle park.
That's right. Weren't they based in that lake?
Yeah, you're right. They were operating around the lake because he's like semi-aquatic.
Sure.
You know, he doesn't breathe water, but his people are kind of crocodile-like in that they like water.
That was the fight where
The
Jake
big dance number.
tried to make everybody dance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I missed that session.
Uh,
I'm gonna turn to Puppet and ask, hey, could you call up Dynaman, see if he wants to go round 2 with the very stubborn handbag.
Yeah, Puppet will call his mom and see what's up.
Yeah.
So Sharon comes back. She's been monitoring communication. She goes back in. She beams everybody up. TeknoAXE is looking around the sedan. Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, a lot of really neat stuff in here. I mean, I've poked around on it, during off hours, and it's just light years. Some of the stuff in here is just light years ahead of stuff you see even in research labs.
Hey, is that your mom driving?
Oh God, no! That's my sister. Or no, that's my niece.
Grandma niece.
Yes.
Grandma niece.
Grandma niece.
Sharon, TeknoAXE, Sharon.
Sharon doesn't even turn around. She's just kind of like, yeah.
She is very upset with me right now.
Grandma niece. Are you guys from Alabama?
Sharon, where are you from? You've never brought up your home state.
I still live in my home state.
I'm going to say not Alabama because I'm pretty sure she will break check me, and that won't really hurt, but it'll be very embarrassing. So
she sounds very, very middle America. Which is basically out where y'all's base is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it didn't take y'all very long to get to Miami because y'all were in the Everglades to begin with.
Well, I remember way back when we analyzed the fight videos of Vasilef. Is there any way? Do we still have any text from that? Was that quality at all still in effect? I know it's been a while.
How many tappings of that had y'all gotten?
We haven't tapped it at all just yet.
And I can look. I've got the notes here. If I can just remember what issue that was. Do you remember? Was that right before?
I've actually got it on my notes. I'm so proud of myself.
Nice.
Not so much that I wrote it down, but that I could find it after I wrote it down. My notes are not organized. But I've got X2, and then in parentheses, know your enemy. So you have 2 tappings.
That's right, know your enemy. Delightful.
I should say 2 tappings that you can use for free. It's still it's still a quality that you could tap. Burning hero point or determination.
The activations.
All right. So as y'all are flying in, Sharon pulls up the news. Sure enough, they show Kroom fighting. There has also been a sighting of the Reliquary.
Damn.
The Nazi wizard.
Sharon's like, Grandpa did not have anything good to say about that guy.
We get to find out how transmutation works against ancient mystical artifacts.
But the reports are a couple of sightings.
Right.
And one guy got him on his cell phone a little bit. But there's no reports of him doing anything yet. Where Kroom is tearing him and the folks he's got under his control at the moment are tearing stuff up.
All right, where has the Vasilef been, or the reliquary been seen?
The reliquary has been seen up in North Miami.
Okay, so it's all in Miami.
Hang on a second. Oh, yes. This all seems to be an attack on Miami. Let me move y'all to the Miami map.
Oh boy.
This is where one of the apocalypse beasts emerged, wasn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Last year?
It's not the exact same map of Miami. Apparently I deleted it. I had to go grab another map. Oh, and let me throw up the map where people can see.
There is also that evil organization that had a base here.
A lot of stuff happens in Miami.
Yeah, wasn't there something hit some group or another based in a park? It was one of the Anyone adventures, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh, the Pantheon, maybe?
I can't remember if they had if this was where they had their offices.
They were kidnapping homeless teenagers for experimentation, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
Yeah,
that wasn't the Pantheon. That was some other shady pharmaceutical company.
That's right. But was that in Miami?
No, that was in Rhodes Ferry.
Oh, sure. Okay. Never mind.
All right, so Kroom is tearing up Miami Beach. Like the more populated area. The reliquary, who I should have a token for. Well, apparently I don't, but I've got a picture of him, so that'll do. Even if it's not really a token. He's over here in North Miami. Or at least that's where he was spotted. I do have a token for Techniki. And y'all are flying in from over here, the Everglades. Like I said, doesn't take you very long to get there. You're already kind of on that side of the Everglades, closest to Miami. The police are being overrun. Spear is supposed to be sending in some agents. The newscaster's talking about the fact that so many of the heroes are currently off planet. That that Spear really doesn't have much in the way of superpowered assets they can send in.
Everybody volunteered to go out into space.
Especially not since the throwaways escaped.
Is that a season 1 group?
No, that was the villain. That was the villain group that y'all helped Squadron get away.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize they had
y'all fought that in the first session of the Primes.
Okay, the throwaways.
The throwaways were kind of their nickname within the government.
Damn.
Well, the Expendables were already taken, so. All right, so Sharon wants to know where y'all want to be dropped off.
There's a big part of me screaming that we should just dive bomb the reliquary right now, but the most immediate threat is Gator Boy and his band of wonders, so we should probably take care of them before they just start eating people and making more gator people.
Yeah.
He seems to be making more gator people on a regular basis.
Has Puppet heard back from his mom?
Yes. Dynaman is en route. I mean, he's coming from Seattle. It's literally all the way across the country, diagonally the long way. So he's coming in alone. He's going suborbital to cut down the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't bring Knockout Queen with him because she doesn't do suborbital.
Yeah.
And Indispensable apparently is out of town.
Well, even if we're able to take out Gator Boy before he shows up, we'll still have, some extra muscle to help deal with the reliquary. Unless, I don't know, we surprise ourselves and take out both threats in like 2 hours or something.
Yeah, it'll be a challenge.
All right, as y'all flying into town, Helios, you get a text back from Grim Noir, or at least you assume it's Grim Noir. It's that number. He's got some help. Where do you need him?
We will call it. We're dealing with a related related threat. But I would rather have them in reserve for whenever we deal with the Vassalites.
That's still not telling him where he needs to sit down at.
Oh, can he just key into Sethagwa?
There is a pause. And then you get the response, apparently we can.
Well, I had a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to have them take care of Lizard Dude while we go after the reliquary? See if they can handle the Lizard Dude?
It would be nice to be able to address both threats at the same time without the normal risks of splitting up.
It would.
But I don't know. Would the MDM care about fighting room? Would they really consider that their fight, just defending a bunch of dirty humans?
Look, it's not that they hate Homo Inferior. It's just
They're
priorities.
superior.
All right, so y'all are arriving in Miami Beach. You see, at a distance, it looks like a huge street riot.
Mm.
And then you see the mutated people. Sometimes they're attacking the regular folk, and then sometimes they're dragging regular folk back and basically like throwing down a big pile of folks right in front of Kroom. And then you see him like radiate some energy. And then those people get up, starting to mutate out.
Ooh, boy.
I'm just gonna text the MDM, just say, "Hey, come on over. We can talk about it whenever you get here." If not, you can just sit in the air conditioning, and we have snacks and drinks in the sedan.
You get a text back. I don't know how big your sedan is, but I've got a few extra people with me.
A couple of those fellows are pretty big.
So, assuming you're relaying all this to everybody, Sharon kind of flies down by the kind of outside edge of the disturbance, drops y'all off there. So it is safe now if you wanted to let the MDM know.
Yeah, just come on over. I really wanted Curtis to be here for this part. Oh, did Curtis have to step away?
I believe so.
Oh,
Here he comes.
you all right, bud?
He didn't have his headphones back on yet.
I just heard him say "ow."
You all right, Curtis? We heard an owl.
Oh no, my foot hurts to walk on still. It's
That's fair.
because the bone structure is not what it was. Bones are missing, bones are in the wrong place, and so
Getting old is not for wimps.
it is not. I'm waiting on special like a brace and then get different shoes that'll
All right. So
be
anyway,
easier to walk on. But yeah, so I get weird pains.
so Sharon has dropped you off. You hear Helios signal back to Grim Noir to come on through. And Curtis, something pulls your shadows out from under your cloak. That's the best way to describe it. Your shadows arc out to like an alleyway. The alleyway keeps getting darker. Shadow starts spilling out from there. Two people step out. You see Grim Noir in his typical fedora and trench coat.
Out of my shadows?
Well, some of them are your shadows. You feel like you're brushing up against somebody else's shadows as well.
Oh, sweet.
But it's him, and next to him is a little girl in a just flat-out superhero costume.
Have we met this person?
You the players? Maybe. The primes? No.
Okay.
She has this flower design. Her suit's all, dark blues and some black and gray. And then she's got like a flower design on her chest.
Oh, is she a student?
Yeah, this is not Phlox.
Ah.
I look at her, look at Grim Noir, and not the MDM's usual aesthetic, but I appreciate I appreciate the design work that went into her costume. I just hold out a hand. We haven't had the pleasure of meeting. Helios.
Oh, I'm not Phlox.
Oh, that's a good name.
She leans forward. It's a flower that blooms at night. I have to explain that to everybody.
I'll introduce myself as well.
Nora tells you, yeah, I couldn't get my associates to come, so I had to find some other folk.
Nerds.
So I have to explain my motif too.
Behind them, a man in white plate mail comes walking out. Next to him is a girl she's blonde, her clearly a superhero costume. She's got a cape with a big collar, but it's also got kind of an anime schoolgirl look to it. She's older than Night Phlox, but still clearly like junior high. I believe she is holding a wand and kind of pushes herself up into the air as she steps out of the shadow. Basically, spilling out behind him is a bunch of kids from the school.
Okay, so Teen Superhero Jamboree, awesome.
Serpent Boy there?
Do what now?
Is Serpent Boy there?
Oh yeah, he was in one of the. Oh yeah, because it's basically the class y'all's characters were in and everybody above.
He was like a grade ahead of her.
You see Indispensable is there. Your player characters from the first part of the season. Assuming you think they'd be willing to come for something like this.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And bringing up the rear
Sure.
is the Rook.
Ah,
Because she did not go off into space.
sure.
And the Fighting Yank.
Oh yeah.
I just do a blanket introduction of myself and just let everyone else introduce themselves too.
Big 2-page spread. I hope.
And, Wolf Witch is probably... Most of the superpowered staff for the school were probably there.
Minus Independence Ray.
And Land Shark, Coach Brody.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they went off to space during that part. Yeah. So some of them would have been there, or after that part. I was thinking about a lot of them characters already being gone. So Wolf Witch might or might not have been there. Depends if she went off into space or not.
We'll figure out that. Figure that out later.
Anyway, big mass of heroes from throughout the season. None of the space guys because they're busy.
Doing
come spilling out.
Space.
It's cool. It's cool.
So they step out. The adults take charge. What's the situation here? They can see the rioting going on. Rook's like, well, we need to get into this Kroom guy. We need to take him out first. And about that time, you hear a whistle through the air, and a streak comes down in kind of the middle of the rioting. There's a hit on the ground. You see some of the riders go flying up. And then you see Dynaman and the Lizard Guy take into the air, and they're just wailing on each other.
That'll probably work for him.
Leave us with Reliquary.
Yeah. Say, hey, y'all take care of the riders, try not to kill anyone. We're gonna go fight a Nazi wizard that's like uptown.
The guy in the plate mail is like, the reliquary's here?
Yeah.
Where?
I give him the address. Do you want to come with us?
He's over there.
Like, is this like a personal thing here, or is it just, a principle of the Nazi wizard doing things?
So yeah, the fellow in plate mail, the Crucible, vanishes in a puff of white smoke before answering.
That's a little rude.
Okay. The schoolgirl motifed hero floating next to him is like,
That sounds personal.
yeah, it's a whole arch nemesis generational thing.
I can respect it. It's part of the
Finale
craft.
is this anyway.
Where did you say he was?
Uptown, and I just give her the general location of where we knew the reliquary was.
Okay,
Where it'd been seen.
I'm gonna go back him up there. Oh, I'm Starlight GM. It's pleased to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, Starlight. Can you teleport us over there with you, or is this sort of you got to take the long way?
It's actually.
I think.
Does Starlight Jim teleport? No, she flies. So yeah, she does. She can't.
I'll be right
that
back.
All right.
But she takes off. About that time, Techniki's looking around. Guys, all the power just went off.
What now?
Well, when we got here, the red lights over there were working. Now they're not, and she steps up to the nearest building and kind of looks in the window.
Whatever
Yeah.
they built, whatever they were working on, I think they just activated it.
They did have a lot of generators out that way. Though generators wouldn't generate, diesel generators are only going to generate so much power.
Where's the power? Where's the electrical plant?
That is a very good question. There is a few that would work in Miami. It's not necessarily the plant you need to get to, but like one of the big...
Yeah, generators. Or words.
Words are hard. But yeah, she pulls up a little holographic map, and she kind of shows you, well, here's where Florida Power and Light is, there's a Miami Beach plant.
Which one is the larger supplier of energy? Because that's the one they're going to be going to.
And she pulls up the biggest plant in the area. I don't know which one that is. We're going to say it's over here.
Yeah.
So kind of away from where both of the harbingers had popped up. The mass of supers that you brought in, they have moved into the rioters.
Then I guess we know where our job is.
Yep.
Sharon's on the radio. Y'all need a pickup then?
Yep.
Alright, so she zips by, teleports y'all back up into the sedan. You run across as you get to one of the big power plants, or not, well, it's not the plant, it's one of the where they pipe, or not pipe, but send the energy in. And sure enough, there's a bunch of equipment set up like outside. The little chain link fence around the place has been torn down. There are cables running from it. Basically, you can see where they plugged into the city's power grid. The Primus is floating in this, or is laying on this thing in the center, and both the August are working the controls. As you're flying in, they activate something. It seems to cause the Primus to kind of float. And you have these. You've all seen the Tesla coils before, right?
Yeah.
It's very similar to that, but the energy arcs seem to be coming out of the Primus and hitting the coils. As Sharon starts to bring the plane in, they seem to, where it's kind of sporadic at first, they seem to sync up into a pattern. And Imperator and Czar look up as the sedan comes flying in.
All right, so what's the game plan here?
Well, I guess we can start by me turning all that equipment into slag. Unless you don't suppose like Dad's in some kind of like, you don't suppose that would hurt Dad, would you?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
And I don't trust them to give us an honest answer about what they're doing.
So should I ease off on that for now?
Technic, if we can get them away from the controls, could you get there and ascertain exactly what the purpose of that machine is, aside from siphoning off the Primus's energy?
When you look over at her, she was like almost like just starting to kind of half raise her hand and offer a suggestion. Yes, if you can keep him busy, I can study the equipment.
Then please do. And if you have to, turn it to slag. But that is option Q. All right.
All right. So with that, Sharon skims the surface and teleports you down. So when you land, Czar. I think it's Czar. No, Imperator steps off the platform and kind of gets between you and the equipment.
I hold up a hand, what middle finger raised. We'd actually like to talk first.
There's nothing to talk about. We are escaping this place.
Escaping this place how? Like going back to the quill kick?
You see Czar back working the equipment. He looks up and then spits on the ground and goes back to what he's doing. Imperator just look at disgust and say, "No, that would not be an escape at all." Our progenitor served them, not us.
Okay, so that's a nice little touch, but here's the thing. We have a good feeling, like, at minimum, what you're doing is gonna kill that guy right up there. And or blow a massive hole in this city, right? Because you two don't... Go ahead.
There should be no destruction of the city.
But it's still gonna kill the guy up there.
Possibly. That's not one of our considerations.
Bud? We don't have to fight. I don't like you. I really don't like either of you. But we don't gotta fight.
That is true. You can leave.
Shut that down, and we will find a way to get you two off this planet. Like, where are you trying to go?
Simply away.
A way to find a way, like a deeper into space, another civilization, another universe.
Just something off of this primitive planet, where we can go forth and forge our own destinies.
You want to take over a different world, don't you?
It's not your world. Someone has to rule other worlds.
See, that's the thing. No, we're not doing the whole letting it go off so you can do a space imperialism. Like, there was apparently a big war out in space a little bit ago about just that sort of thing. And as powerful as you two are, I don't really like the idea of you two running around out there and doing that.
Our father, our progenitor, he always used the term progenitor. Forged quite an empire in his world, in his dimension. One that lived peacefully for thousands of years. It was only the coming of the quail kick that destroyed that universe and broke our progenitor's spirit.
He could have stayed and died with his people like a man, but I guess not. I guess he was just too weak to do that.
He could not accept his failure. He had tried to stop the quill kick and was unable to. He was mad. Thankfully, we can only remember his madness in bits and pieces.
So, one last question before we move on. Is that like a genetic memory thing you guys got going on here, or what's going on? Because like we have like some scattered records of how you two came to be, and like just the scientific curiosity's got me interested.
Our progenitor can reconstitute himself from any portion of his body that remains relatively whole.
Is he still alive?
As long as we live. And yet, as long as we're both alive, he is not. It's a very strange conundrum.
Huh, okay, so we don't have to deal with him for right now. Okay, so this is the stakes. Stop these two, keep Dad from dying. Don't care how we do it, just gotta stop him. That good with everyone else?
That sounds good.
TeknoAXE offers no opinion.
No, that's fine. You're just a contractor here.
That makes her put one hand on her hip and look and turn her head like she to look directly at you.
Like, I'm not trying to be rude here. Like, you don't have much a big stake in here. Like, aside from me owing you a favor, you're good. You're good.
As you turn and are saying that to her, Imperato uses that slight distraction to jump forward and try to clock you in the face. It's become pretty clear that you are indeed going to fight. So.
Do we roll initiative?
Yes, roll initiative. Let me bring up Imperator's stats.
Okay, so starting to roll decently.
All right.
Ooh, that looks good.
So that is 11 for Imperator, 10 for Czar. Oh, and TeknoAXE needs one.
Do they go before all of us?
Don't like that.
And TeknoAXE goes on a 7. Alright. So Transmuter is on a 6. Somebody give me a d6 roll for Puppet. Let's see, his coordination is a... Oh, his coordination is a 1. That's why he always goes last. Okay.
Still getting those sinews back into shape.
Yep. That I'm assuming that 7 is for Seth, and that 9 is for Helios.
Yes, sir.
And the promise is on the board, but he doesn't need an initiative. He'll do his thing every round at the end of the round. Alright, so top of the order is... Imperator. Alright, so he's taking a swing at you. I'm giving him a +2 for catching you a little bit off guard.
That's fair. And I rolled a 10. Do you want to re-roll that, seeing as how I rolled that before initiative?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Alright, so his prowess plus his martial arts +2. Alright, so he gets a 9. So that's a major success.
I rolled a 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the 6 that you had rolled for TeknoAXE because it was the next
Nah.
roll up. My bad. You're right.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So yeah, you turn to talk to her, but you see him start to move out of the corner of your eye, and you manage to yank your head back. All right, Czar flips a few more switches. Seems content with what he did. And you can hear the machine changing, and the pattern of the zaps is changing. All the coils are flaring up and seem to be like pulling the energy out of the Primus. You see no reaction out of him. He's still just floating there, apparently unconscious. There's no look of pain on his face. He's not screaming or anything. And then he will move forward. And Czar is... he remembers you, Seth.
That's great.
He zips forward to take a swing at you. Let's see. Yeah, he rolled as low as he could. So you need a 6 to avoid him. It's a prowess roll.
Nice.
All right, so that is a major. And let's see here. Blocking.
Look, hey man, this time we're going to kick your butt.
Okay, you have to have it has to be a massive failure for you to get an automatic lick on him. So, you get out of the way. Then we drop down to Helios.
So this was Imperator, right?
Correct. Imperator is the one in front of you.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me rearrange the tokens just a little bit so we've got. Since tactical movement isn't really a thing here, we'll just put the ones you're engaged with directly in front of you. And yeah, the gray guy is Imperator, the blue guy is Czar.
Alright. I'm gonna throw a punch right into his gut.
He's an alien. Do you even know where his guts are?
Ooh, rolled as good as I could.
Ouch. Alright, so his prowess. His martial arts. He got a respectable roll. So you rolled a 13. He rolled an 11. So, it's a moderate lick. You do full damage. How much damage do you do?
9 points.
Let me put his... Let me get his health put in. Alright. So that's 9 points minus his damage reduction. Okay, good solid hit. You hear him.
And just spit in his face. Sloppy form.
Then it is TeknoAXE. And she just sort of kind of slips around and is moving over. You know, there's not a lot of stuff to hide behind. She's trying to move as unnoticeably as she can. You know. She kind of backs away from the fight and then sort of starts kind of working her way around. Sathagua.
I did not say before the battle that I was changing into shadow form, so I will do that now.
Okay. Does that take an action, or do you just have to do
it? It does take an action.
Okay, so that's what you're doing this round.
Sorry, I was having some issues and didn't do that, so I will do it now.
All right. Puppet is going to put it's Puppet's turn. Puppet's going to put a force shield on Transmuter.
Oh, thank you.
So that you now have a force shield at rank 5.
Cool. So I'm about to return the favor for TeknoAXE if I get a chance.
Then it's Transmuter's turn.
Yeah, so I would like to raise, let's say, along the pathway of vehicles. Are the streets clear? Or are they still covered with abandoned vehicles or even people still? What's the civilian situation?
All right, this area, the riot is not going on in this area.
Okay, that's good.
You probably had normal traffic, but a lot of people seem to have cleared out when they saw these guys show up with all their high-tech gizmos.
Okay.
Undoubtedly, there's a couple of rubberneckers somewhere either watching or recording, but they're backed off across the street. There are some cars parked on the street, but it's not like post-apocalyptic where they're just parked in the middle of the street. Wasn't a whole lot of fender benders or anything.
Sure. I do want to protect the civilians, but primarily I want to try to keep the eyes of the August away from TeknoAXE. So I would like to raise a wall along the streets, whatever street is between them and the Primus and TeknoAXE. Of course, they can fly over it easily enough, but I'm hoping that my siblings will keep them distracted enough to not have them think about that for at least a little bit.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and raise let's see, I want to block it visually as well as through material toughness. Well, I don't know if full-on diamond is going to be the best bet. I'll reserve that for my next action. But for now, I don't know, just whatever's next. Whatever would be next, steel, I guess, would be the next thing, right?
Yeah, steel would be good.
So yeah, I'll just make a steel wall to try to cut their view from of Nikki, and also to kind of limit the spread of the potential spread, at least westward of the battle.
I'm kind of picturing this wall looping around you, kind of around the combat.
Yeah.
It blocks the street behind you. It blocks the streets to either side.
Sure.
It doesn't envelop the machinery because Nikki needs to be able to walk.
Yeah, and it probably can't stretch that far because I can only produce a building's worth of material. So I certainly wouldn't be wrapping.
Well, keep in mind, y'all are standing outside this one facility.
Okay.
There's not really blocks.
Oh, sorry, the power plant. Gotcha.
So yeah, you can throw that up, no
problem.
problem.
There's not usually a lot of buildings around power plants.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, this is not the plant per se. This is like the
substation.
Thank you. It's like one of the really big substations that kind of everything comes out of, at least for this area. Because it's got to be able to handle a lot of power. They're clearly taking a lot of that power. But yeah, so Nikki will potentially be visible to them when she gets to the equipment and is actually working on it.
Mm-hmm.
But that is, their back is to the equipment right now, so.
Cool. I've got to plug my laptop laptop in.
Uh-oh, battery died. Yeah.
Getting close.
What'd you have to make do with you haloed with ethereal light?
Yeah.
Is
Maybe
it
I can
Mike
do
or
this.
Jesus?
It's Joshua. They really just spelled his name wrong. All right. So that was Transmuter. Back behind you, you see, you see the Primus suddenly give a not a shudder, but he kind of seizes up, and there's like an aura of power that generates out of him. It expands out of him, like a burst. But as it hits those coils, they seem to absorb it. The tune of the machine changes briefly, and then it drops back like it was. As that happens, you see Czar look over his shoulder like he wants to make sure the thing's still working. He looks relieved as he turns back to Seth.
Bring it on.
And then it is... Alright, we're starting to get that echo again. So anyway, then Imperator is going after Helios again. He's trying to grapple you this time, Helios.
Alright, and I can resist that with coordination or prowess?
Let me look that up. Wrestling. Roll a test of prowess against a difficulty of the greater of the target's prowess or coordination. So you get to choose which one you use.
Okay, both stats are the same.
So his prowess is a 5, I believe. And he has wrestling, so that's a 6. Okay. And that is an 8. No, you got 8.
Oh, I rolled an 8, yeah.
I got an 11.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes. So 8, 9, 10, 11. That's a major success, which on a wrestling, I believe, is a full hold.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Right.
All right. So complete hold. The target is fully restrained and can take no physical actions except to escape the hold. And while he's got you in a complete hold, he can inflict strength damage on a character with no test required. I'm going to assume that is starting the next round.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all are wrestling around. He managed to lock you into a hold. And then it is Czar's turn. And he takes a swing at Seth. That is a 7 to hit Seth.
Nice.
Alright, Seth uses can't touch a shadow. Well, a something shadow. And
He's so eloquent.
He knows all the 4-letter words. But alright, so Czar got a 7, Seth got a 9. You dance out of the way. Czar's starting to look frustrated. I mean, his brother is handling his guy fine. Why is he having trouble? He's even going after one of the littler guys. Helios, you're up.
And it is strength to break out, correct? Or is it a prowess?
All right, that will be the escaping action.
I do apologize.
No, no problem. I just had to remember if it was under action or reactions. All right, when you are being held by an opponent, you can attempt to escape the hold with your prowess or strength versus the attacker's strength.
All right, and am I able to add my wrestling to that, to trying to break out?
I would assume so, yes.
All right, I'll use my strength with my wrestling bonus.
He'll use his strength with his wrestling bonus. Ooh, you beat him by one.
Just got out.
It's real Clash of the Titans going on there.
It is.
Look at those totals.
So that is a moderate success. A moderate success escapes a partial hold or changes a complete hold to a partial hold. So he still has you in a partial hold. Which means, let's see, you can perform actions but at a -2, and you can't move away from the person holding you.
That's fair.
And if he gets another partial on you, then it goes back into a complete.
Okay.
But it also means he can't damage you automatically now. You can all see TeknoAXE come around that wall back behind the August, and you see her start examining the equipment.
Okay.
Wires come out of her armor and she plugs into the computer and she's starting to hit keys. She's clearly being cautious at first because she doesn't know exactly what the setup is. Sith Agua.
I am going to Shadow Strike Czar.
Did you forget you had this?
Alright, he will use his prowess to try to get out of the way. Alright, that's a major, so it's not enough for him to get an automatic lick on you.
So this is a very dramatic fight of like, missed.
We don't like to call it whiffs, we like to call it dramatic misses. Alright, nobody's really hurt on y'all's side yet, so Puppet hasn't got anybody to heal.
He could try to hit Imperator Czar with his affliction.
Oh, that's right, because I was thinking about the aura doing damage, but it's the affliction that can bypass. Yeah, you make a fair point there. Alright, he's got a prowess of 4. So somebody give me a d6 roll for Puppet. He'll try to back up Seth. So that's a 9. Czar will try to get out of the way. And he beats it by 1 point. So he just does manage to avoid Puppet touching him. Next up is Transmuter.
Yeah, hopefully Helios won't mind if everyone else gangs up on Czar while you're handling Imperator single-handedly.
Go right ahead. Like I'm the one who can take a hell of a hit.
That's right, that's true. Now, I've got the Puppet shield. Is it an energy shield that's just basically in front of me?
I'm assuming it just sort of wraps around you. It's just kind of there stopping damage.
Okay. Here's why I ask. I want to try to envelop Czar in a big diamond structure, but I have to basically have to convert the oxygen between me and Czar to do that because I don't have any range. on my transmutation power. Besides the fact that I can transform a building's worth of material at a time. So I'm just trying to figure out if I need to reach around or even just like walk away from the shielding in order to attempt that, or if I can just like kind of like form it, starting with the action in front of me and then over the shield and then towards Zar.
Just think
how
of it
could
as
that
an
work?
aura around you that prevents damage, but it's not like separating you from the air. So don't worry about the force shield causing any problem.
Okay. Fantastic. In that case, I would like to try to envelop Zar, or basically grapple Zar in a large diamond structure, rooting him to the ground and still leaving enough of him exposed for to be attacked. And the question is, I'm basically power stunting binding. So could I do that by, let's see, for example, if I were to take an extra turn, with the trouble of having to take an extra turn in order to generate that and be ready to unleash that diamond transformation around Zar, maybe in my next panel. Is that a thing that could happen?
Definitely do that, but don't forget you have 2 free tappings of Know Your Enemy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. So, in fact, yeah, why don't I go ahead and let me see how I can apply Know Your Enemy to what I want to do. Well, I guess I don't know. I guess maybe I've learned from studying the performance of the original Vasilev that he does prefer to focus. Would I be correct in remembering that despite the group power nullification attacks, when it came to fisticuffs, he was just a one-on-one person typically,
Yeah, I mean
and
he was a
therefore could
brawler,
be
clearly a
vulnerable
brawler
to,
there with some training and practice. But... And even
Mhm.
when he did the burst, he tended to be kind of gesturing with his hands as he did it. So yeah, immobilizing him
Yeah,
would probably be
but
useful.
perhaps all that evidence would indicate that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that then. And so I guess next panel I would. Oh no, it's this panel now because
Yeah, if you're not taking that
activating the
trouble, then yeah.
quality tag.
Right.
Correct. So at this point, I guess I'm just rolling. I guess this works as a binding power. Rolling my. Is it my coordination or how?
It is your
What is it that I
coordination.
roll
It
again?
is a coordination versus coordination, if I recall, right?
That
And
sounds right.
the results are kind of like a
And this is
wrestling.
where.
You can have the partial hold or the full hold, or miss.
Yeah. And this is where the all that. Yeah, that's where all the gym work comes in handy. The peak physical condition thingy, coordination test. I can't actually see my result because of a quirk in my Roll 20 interface. How'd I do?
Mine has been doing that. Try shrinking it and popping it back up. That works for me every now and then.
Oh,
or
okay.
changing the size of the window and then popping it back full screen.
Yeah, how do I do that in the first place? Where's the button that collapses?
Anyway, you rolled an 8, he rolled a 9.
Oh, poop.
So you have a little pile of diamond up here, but he manages to sidestep it. Where you put it. But he can see the trail of diamond leading right back to you, so he knows who did it.
Right. Okay, I see it now. I just expanded the chat window.
And then you see another pulse of energy come out of the Primus. And when it hits, the machinery sounds a little strained. But only for a second, and then everything drops back to normal. But you see TeknoAXE kind of looking over her shoulder when that happens.
I might have to cut myself over there and help out.
Over your comms, you hear TeknoAXE. I thought you said this. I thought you said they had some guy named Cliff. This is the Primus. Oh wait, Cliff is the Primus. Oh.
We call him Papa.
Are y'all related? Is that why? Cliff, Dan? Do y'all all have like little short names like that? Never mind, it's not my business. Not important at the moment. Focus, Nikki. Focus. Alright, then it is Imperator. Let's see. He has still got Helios in a partial hold. So he's going to try to improve that to a full hold again.
I got an 11 to resist that.
Oh, and he got a 10.
Ha.
So he does not improve his hold at all.
But I am still held, correct?
Yes, you are still in a partial
Okay.
hold. Then it is Czar. Seth, Czar launches himself up over you and kind of dives at Transmuter. So Mike, he is trying to hit you.
So this is a... Oh, this is a Prouse thing.
Yes, yes.
This might be...
Oh, he rolled
if I
so he,
see, if I can see it, if he's coming straight at me, since he's charging straight at me, can I deploy a power defense?
oh, sure, sure. You got 11 is the number to beat.
Nice.
And 11 is the number I've got.
All right, so that is a tie.
Maybe I'll just raise up another. Maybe I just raise up like another wall of like a smaller wall of diamond just in time.
So it comes up. He drives his hand through it before you really have it fully formed. So he still goes through and makes contact with you. But he's only doing, since it's a marginal success, a tie, he is only doing half damage. Or half effect. So his strength of, let's see, this is Czar. So he's got a strength of 8. Half of that is 4. So 4 points of damage. I think Puppet Shield takes all of that. So you take no actual damage.
Oh, fantastic! And another question: did we recover our stamina from the last issue in the time it took to get here?
Oh yeah.
Or am I still at 5? Oh, very good. And thank you, Puppet Shield.
Helios.
I'm going to try and break out of that hold.
Okay.
Using strength. 15.
All right, that's a major success. So you are absolutely loose. Let me see if there's anything special when you escape with a... Oh, a massive success. Not only escapes, but also lets you place your opponent in a partial hold.
All right, sure, yeah. I just reverse his grapple.
You know, alternatively, you can choose to just escape the hold and still perform another action in your panel. So you could automatically put him in a partial hold, or you could break loose and still take a swing at him.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to take a swing at him then.
Okay.
And...
Need to beat a 9.
That's a 10.
That beats an eye.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you do 9 points of damage.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And does that do full damage or half damage?
No, you beat him, so you do full damage. It's
Okay.
it's only the tie where you get the marginal.
Gotcha.
Where it does the half.
How long have we been playing this game?
I don't know. We're 3 seasons in, but one of them seasons was 2 years, so 4 years in this group. We're not judging you though. Nobody tell me about my judgmental look. Alright, technique. Somebody give me a D6 roll for technique. She has intelligence of 7 and tech, so it's 8 plus whatever you roll.
I'll pass that over to Mike or Curtis.
I can do it.
Alright, Curtis, give me a roll.
I've got the +8 already figured in.
Okay. 14. Difficulty.
Wow.
Ooh, I rolled max on the difficulty, but 13 versus 14, so. She gets on the comms. They're pulling energy out of him. I think it's going to get to a certain point, and they're going to focus it into 2 paths. But the more they pull off of him, though, I'm getting these weird secondary fluctuations.
What kind of fluctuations?
Like, according to this thing, gravity's getting weird.
Oh boy.
And there's a sort of opposite charge thing. I can read what the text's telling me. I don't know what it necessarily means, though. But the gravity thing seems alarming.
Is there any way you can shut it down without it blowing up?
Well, if I shut it down, that power they've stored up has got to go somewhere. I don't know if it would go crashing back into him, and I don't know if that'd be good or bad.
Undo the button.
Maybe I can create something to store the energy in. Like a big primeval lightning rod. If I can just get SAR off my back or my off my case.
Yeah,
so I don't want to bring them over to you.
I guess could make a reverse lightning rod to channel the energy it's got to shoot it out wherever.
All right. Sethagua, you're up.
Okay, does anybody mind if I use our last tap from our...
I do it. I've got one. I've still got my own determination
I have a
point.
determination point too, but I just thought I would use the tap unless somebody else.
I go right ahead.
Sure. I'm gonna be switching focus to Dad anyway.
So and I am going to make as Sethagua does a loud oh gosh, what's the word? I'm going to get Czar's attention.
Distraction?
And I am going to Shadow Strike him, and I'm going to use our last tap for
Okay.
to add 2 points to my hit.
Okay.
Which I did not do very well.
Oh, but he did not do very well either. So you got an 8, he got a 6.
Sweet.
So your shadow strike
is level 8.
That's right, it's 8. It doesn't ignore damage or anything, it's just high level. Let's see. This one is... This is Czar. Oh, this is the first damage he's taken. So yeah, you notice he's still got scars from the last time you laid into him.
Yeah.
They're completely healed up, but it left scars. And now he's basically got a matching set that go the other way across the first set. So now he looks like he's got a tic-tac-toe board forever on his chest.
Yeah.
Or at least he will when these heal up and leave scars. Now, but he screams and steps back. You know, you've hurt him pretty bad.
I told you we were going to kick your butt.
He does not know how to kill a shadow, but he is going to figure it out. All right. And then it is Puppet. Puppet's going to try to touch him again. Somebody give me a D6 roll for Puppet.
What? You can grab it, man.
He has a prowess of 4.
Oh, look at that.
So that's a total of 10. Let me roll
So that-
for the...
Good to see you could get.
Nice.
So that's a tie. Puppet's aura is... his affliction is 5. But it bypasses armor, so...
Oh. That's right.
So it's only doing the 2 points, but the full 2 points affects him. Alright, then it is Transmuter.
All right.
You're pretty
So,
sure Czar is distracted.
Yes. So I'll definitely head towards Technicky and the Primus.
Okay.
And given our discussion to create some kind of lightning rod for the power primeval, I think I need. Do I need to figure out like a specific type of, I guess, chemical composition of this giant lightning rod I'm planning on constructing?
Yes, you will. But as you run up, give me an awareness roll.
Okay. Uh-oh. I don't like having to be aware of things. How will 6 do for me?
Don't worry, you're not aware of anything. 9 was the number to
Ignorant
beat.
is bliss.
9 was the number to beat.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will blissfully unaware ponder the question before me of what exactly should be the composition of this primeval rod.
Give me an intelligence science roll, if you have the science specialty.
Ooh. I do in fact have that thing, and this might. Oh, I wonder if this might be. I'm trying to figure out if this might be the time for some. I feel like this is kind of important, so I hope I'm not underestimating the remaining challenges. But I would like to spend a determination point
Okay.
to activate better heroics.
That was better heroics through chemistry.
I'd like to. Yeah,
Okay.
just to give me a +2 to this roll, because I feel like the more success levels, the better off we'll be, since I'm venturing into unknown scientific territory. Does that sound like an accurate assessment?
That sounds good.
Okay, so I will go ahead and manually enter in row 1d6 +4 for the intellect, +2 for the active. Oh yeah, quality for a total of 10.
And the difficulty that I rolled for was 5. So that's a massive success.
That's exactly what I was hoping for.
You had voiced this ideal, so when you run up, Nikki has pulled up the specs for the machine,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows you what the coils are made of and how they're made. They're a weird alloy. But it describes basically what they are. The August are very organized in their note keeping. It's practically a power up in and of itself.
I always appreciate it, Matt. It's always important. That's very important in a master villain.
You do take a moment to notice that they're doing everything in English. But maybe that's because they're using human equipment and stuff they stole in the U.S., so maybe that's why they're having to use... Who knows? Questions for later.
Okay. Oh, you know what? That's actually... Not that it really matters, but that's an 11 result because I forgot to add in my science specialty.
Okay, still a massive result.
For the record.
For the record, it more than doubled the difficulty. I get you. So you have figured out what you need to do. That's going to take this action because that's a fair amount of,
Sure.
reading and figuring and. Into the round, you hear a grunt out of the Primus. He kind of does that tense up thing again. Only this time, instead of a pulse coming out of him, he kind of hitting those Tesla rods. It's like an even pulse, so it hits all the Tesla rods at once. This one arcs through and hits transmuter.
Oh!
Now, it passes between two of the coils, and smaller arcs kind of get pulled off of it into the coils. And then it strikes transmuter just square in the back.
Okay.
Transmuter, if you've ever bumped into an electric fence or something, it's kind of what this feels like.
I hope I never realized
just for that split second, like you bumped up against it. If you've ever had an electrical shock, where you kind of tense up, it's not enough to knock you down. It doesn't take very long. It's just more startling than painful. And now you feel like you've just chugged 2 Red Bulls back to back. You are wide-eyed and you have a lot of extra energy. It's like, whoa.
You've got wings.
Maybe we should try to channel that energy into us.
Well, do I actually feel energized in a good way?
Yeah, it's alarming because you're not supposed to feel quite so jazzed up just like that. But and TeknoAXE takes a step away from you. And she's pointing at your feet. You look down and you see the ground is like shifting elements around you.
Sweet.
Not like in a big patch, just if it's a few inches around your feet, they're kind of shifting through a random selection of elements.
Perhaps transmuting into random elements.
Oh, undoubtedly. But about the time you notice it, it seems to settle down.
Okay. But perhaps a clue to how we should proceed with this battle. As Helios noted.
No, that was Zach adding some meta commentary.
Okay.
But Imperator, saw her run by. He saw the pulse. And he's basically like, no, we need that. And he moves back to the platform.
Oh boy.
And he is going to try to grapple transmuter.
Did you potty?
Oh my. And my puppet shield will not help me in that regard.
Nope. He'll help you if he tries to damage you, but not him trying to grab you. So 5 plus his wrestling makes it a 6. So 9 is the number you need to beat. And you can use your prowess or coordination.
Okay, they are equal. Ooh. Tie.
A marginal success on a wrestling, I don't think does anything. I mean, I think it just counts as a miss. Yes, failure or marginal, no effect. So he does not have you in any sort of hold.
You need a potty anymore?
So yeah, he's trying to. You're slipping out of his grip. Then we will move on to his brother. who has also noticed what is going on back here and flies back. They make a roll for a difficulty. Ooh, difficulty 10, and then let me give him an awareness roll. Okay, he is unaware of anything. He is also going to try to grapple Transmuter. Let's see, he is not quite as good as his brother at it, though. So the difficulty for this one is a 6. And again, Mike, you can use your prowess or your coordination, though I think you said they were the same. Mike, are you still there? I think his camera's froze.
I dropped a message in the Discord.
Oh, I didn't see that come up. The laptop is thinking about a change. Uh-oh. Okay, he's going to have to reboot. Unfortunate, but it happens. Let's see, we are 2:13 in. Let me make a note of the time so I can edit this out later. I don't think anybody's watching this live.
Sorry if they are. It happens.
Yeah, technical issues.
Not nearly as bad as season 1.
No.
Ugh.
I keep having to run to the bathroom real quick, which is always fun. Old man issues. I think I get UTIs.
Do you drink cranberry juice?
Not enough. I think I need to do it more.
I've added beet juice and pomegranate to my diet.
It can help. It doesn't treat it, but it can help prevent them. So it's kind of like vitamin C. Orange juice ain't gonna make you recover from a cold faster, but it will boost your immune system before you get the cold. I'm gonna get up and grab a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Hello?
All right, we hear you.
Okay, let me just get my Zoom up, and hopefully I'll be back in the game.
Excellent. Getting some weird bursts of statics from you, Curtis.
There we go. That better?
Yes, that's much better.
I'm ready for another Zoom invite.
All right, sending you the invite.
I guess I need to invest in a new headset. Less sigh.
All right, we are back in it now.
Hello.
Okay, so Czar was trying to grapple Transmuter. He got a 6 on his roll, so that's your difficulty, Mike.
Oh, I thought I thought I tied him. I thought I put in a roll, but let me try again once I get roll 20 back up and running.
Yeah, if you hit something, it didn't come through. So just go ahead and re-roll it once you get in.
Gotcha. Launching the game.
And I return.
Yeah,
I'm almost back up and running. And prowess.
It's prowess or coordination. Your choice. Since you're the one defending.
Yes. Since you're the one defending. They're both 5, so here we go. Try this again.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah? Oh, hey.
All right, so you. Let's see. Oh no, this was not an escape roll. This was just your defense. So yeah, he definitely does not get his hands on you.
Cool.
And then next up, it's Helios.
I'm gonna punch Imperator in the back of the head.
Boom.
Seems unsportsmanlike, but okay. I'll allow it.
Oh, that's the wrong roll. I'm sorry. There we go.
All right. And he hears the rustle of your cape in the wind and tries to get out of the way. But he fails. You have a major. Wait a second.
Dude, what are you chewing on?
And you were punching. Yeah, you were punching Imperator. Okay. All right. So your strength is a 9.
Yes, sir.
So you connect. He kind of staggers. He manages to keep his feet, but he's looking like a punch drunk boxer.
And that's just an amateur move, turning your back on someone you're fighting.
Right?
Czar is nodding his head in agreement. Mm-hmm.
Wow, even your brother thinks you suck.
I only keep him around because if he was not here, I would become father. Or I'd become our progenitor.
Huh. I thought our family was weird.
Mm.
Alright, then it's Techniki's turn. She moves back to the control panel, kind of keeping a close eye on, all this fighting going on right next to her.
Where's your marker? Where's that?
And she's like, she starts looking at the logs of what just happened as far as the whole transmuter thing. Seth Agua.
I am going to. For one, he's really disappointed that he didn't get Zara's attention last time. I'm going to use Unhinged Okie Redneck and do another attack, hooting and hollering, making sure Zara knows I'm there. And take another swipe at him.
Okay. Fire away.
Not a great roll, but well, it's not bad.
He only got an 8, so you still beat him.
Mm-hmm. It's a major success.
Do your claws inflict killing damage?
It is slashing. actually.
Okay. All right. So,
but I don't. But will a major do a kill?
I'm about to look it up. Hang on.
I think that's a stun attack.
All right. So you walked up and you slashed Czar. Oh, that's the blue one. Okay. And you do 8 points of damage?
Yes.
That's right, because you did half last time. Czar goes down.
Wow.
Now, let's look up... Alright, slashing is killing. Alright, so... Give me a d6 roll plus the 8 damage you did. And he will roll his d6 plus his strength. So he got a 12, you got an 11. Alright, so so there is no effect other than the attack's regular damage. So he goes down, but he does not start bleeding out or anything.
No cool automatic kill animation for Seth today.
He'll get over it.
Still, there's still it's a claw attack. There's still blood. He falls back, kind of screams.
Still more scars on him.
Imperator immediately. Well, it's not Imperator's turn, but he immediately screams no. He seems very upset.
No.
Puppet's going
all out of determination.
Puppet's going to wait and see what's going on. Transmuter.
All right. So.
Oh, please, one moment. I forgot something. Sure. Seth and Helios both give me awareness rolls.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, that thing I didn't notice.
Yeah, and one of them didn't notice.
Probably neither.
Ooh, difficulty was only a 6 this time, then.
Oh.
Wow. Seth noticed.
The one who's always in the dark is not in the dark.
All right, what the two of you see. You run up, you do your interactions, you look over at your dad, he's floating there, the energy, all that, yada, yada, yada. There is something forming in the center of his chest.
Oh.
Like a solid mass, or...
It's dark, and it's like you can see the light around it bending and disappearing into it.
It's like a black hole?
Like a portal?
A black hole would imply that it was like a sphere floating there, sucking things in from all directions. This is more like an opening in something, kind of one-sided. And it's not spherical. It's shaped more like a cat's pupil or something, kind of that.
Oh.
Doesn't sound good. At all.
I assume you relay that
Do you need down?
to all of us?
Yes.
All right. So I think this might be time to create that primeval lightning rod. And hopefully I've got the chemical composition down to be able to produce that accurately. This is primevium, perhaps. Perhaps we're about to expand the The periodic table, who knows?
Well, it's an alloy, so it's not like a single element.
Oh, okay, right. That's right.
Uh,
Um, so yeah, I'll. Do I need to make a? Is this complicated enough where I would need to make a specific roll, or can I just have it be done and just generate like the biggest, basically an obelisk in the middle of Miami?
what you're going to need to do is give me a intellect science.
Ah, I gotta sign some more.
You know what to do. This is more figuring out exactly how to do it with your powers.
Gotcha.
There's no role
Oh, I never.
to actually make something, but to make an alloy, you're mixing different elements. It's a bigger thing.
Yeah, it's just complicated enough. So let's see. I don't have any determination. I might. Yeah, I would like to get some extra magic involved here in order to pull this off. Need to figure out a way to activate better heroics through chemistry. Actually, any of these qualities could play in if I could figure out how to activate all of them. Raised to be a champion, and this only looks effortless. This only looks effortless. I really should capitalize the looks because that's where the emphasis goes. Uh, let me just refresh my memory
Okay.
of the ways in which I can activate a quality.
Well, basically, you can you can spend a determination if you've got one, or you can cause yourself trouble.
Yeah, it might have to be trouble all the way, honestly. I don't want to risk having to spend time for extra maneuvers. Let's see, how much trouble do I want to take on? Let's figure this out. um, I could invoke a challenge to basically have invite Jason to add an extra detail element that creates a problem for me, not necessarily for all of us, but for me specifically. Not that can't trouble anyone else, but that's a possibility. Compulsion, I could be required to act in a particular manner this page. I don't know if that doesn't quite reach out to me quite so much.
I could make that one work though.
Really?
Just throwing that out there.
Okay. I mean, I guess if like something, if the Primus starts getting wounded greatly, I could see a compulsion for transmuters. So yeah, let's count that in there. Disability, I could lose an ability for a page. Oh yeah, that's good. It's the finale. What the heck? And then the possibility of a lost pano. But right now I've only got 3 qualities to tag, unless I could get really fancy and try to deduce one of the Primus qualities. But I think 3 advantages should suffice. If it doesn't, then we're in really big trouble. So let's do this for the purposes of me sciencing properly under duress. I will invoke better heroics. I'll activate better heroics through chemistry and invite Jason to create an extra challenge in order for me to activate that. So that's one. For Race to be a champion, I think that's where the compulsion could come in well. If you want to, require me to act a particular way based on what happens here. And then disability, this only looks effortless. I could ask for one of those to activate that as well. And you can you can deactivate one of my abilities for a page. And then I guess I would just be giving myself a +6 if I give myself 3 +2 bonuses stacked up. Does that sound fair, Jason?
Normally I'm not sure how many how much advantage you can stack on to one roll.
My understanding was if he could figure out a way to tag a quality, as long as you're only tagging each quality once. Now, of course,
you're right. It's the each quality once that is the limit. That may be what I may be misremembering that part.
Yeah. And of course, if you're okay with the way in which I'm choosing to activate each quality, that's the other thing.
Yeah, now that sounds fine. So yeah, go ahead, go for it. This is tail end of the session of the big conclusion anyway, so.
Yeah, something we really haven't taken advantage of much until now. Yeah, and after playing this game for so many years, I feel like it's only like recently that I've really appreciated how you could, tag activate qualities in other ways besides spending determination. I feel like for most of our gaming, it's always been determination or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, 1d6 plus the intellect, plus the 1 for the science,
yes,
plus the 6 for all 3 of those quality activations. And here we go. Phew.
All right, and
all
seven,
right, that's
seven was the number you
results.
needed to beat. So
I've
you
done
beat
that
it by
massively.
6. Yes, that is a massive success. So you create a rod of this material, kind of at an angle, so that it passes into that kind of zone that the Primus is floating.
Oh,
in.
into the coils.
Yeah,
that
or
energy coil
laying
thing,
it down
or-
between the coils, kind of. Because you're trying to catch the same energy that the coils is catching. But then the Primus gives another pulse, because that's the end of the round. It doesn't go to the coils. It feeds directly into the big lightning rod that you've constructed.
This could be a new monument for the city if I ever live to see it.
And then the energy seems to be pulling out of the coils now, like you're depleting the machine. What the machine is taped up.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Everybody, give me awareness rolls. 6 is the number to beat.
I got an 8. Or I got a 9, excuse me.
Okay.
Mike had the 8.
The rod is practically touching the Primus, and power just keeps seeming to pour into it. That opening, that hole in space that seems to be floating kind of in or maybe slightly above his chest, starts widening.
Oh boy.
It's dark. You can see twinklings inside it. Mike, something is telling
Yes.
something is telling Transmuter she needs to keep doing what she's doing.
Okay. A voice I don't recognize, I presume.
You said it looks like an eye, right?
It's kind of shaped. It's shaped like a cat's pupil. Kind of points on either end and then kind of opening wide in the middle.
But it doesn't look like an actual eye poking out of his
not like something's looking at you. And where you can kind of see light bending and going into it, you're starting to hear a whistle of wind. Where before it was kind of a blackness, you couldn't really tell what it was. It seems to be something almost vacuuming something in. And Matt, you hear voices you trust telling you need to keep doing this. Or Transmuter hears.
Okay.
Transmuter hears that. Hopefully Mike doesn't. Seth, you also hear murmurings coming out of this hole.
It doesn't. It's not Eve, is it? The voice
No.
doesn't start with recognition.
Seth, it's like you're hearing voices that you used to always. It's like you've heard these voices mumbling quietly. Now you can practically make out the individual words.
Can I?
And
are they saying the same thing?
The
Transmuter hears.
You don't know what Transmuter hears. You just hear that they're. But you can tell they are telling her to basically keep doing what she's doing. And if those voices that have tormented you for your entire life are telling her she needs to do this, she does not.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like I don't I don't trust them.
Ooh.
Oh God, this is probably going to be a really bad mistake. But I think it's totally within character, which never, I've
has never bit anybody in the rear ever in the existence of gaming. Well, it's what my
Yeah,
character
the
would do.
bringing of paranoia and darkness.
I've never let my
gonna
characters,
manifest.
not make a mistake. So, and I've said all along that Seth hears these voices and doesn't necessarily like them. So, I think I am going to Shadow Strike that hole,
Okay.
that opening or whatever. It's like, get out of my head, motherfuckers.
Oh wow.
And for the rest of you, you just hear Seth scream this at the top of just out of nowhere. Oh, hang on, we're still in initiative order. I forgot. Next up is Imperator.
Was it? But do I need to roll?
Not just yet. I'll
Okay.
let you roll in a second. But he looks up, and this is like the first time he's noticed this hole. No. We have erred.
You don't say.
He starts shaking his brother. Wake up, stupid. The hole to the quill kicks. We assumed the old man had sealed it, but he's holding it.
Oh.
No, he's like, no. The power, his power was what was keeping it sealed, and we've been draining. Oh.
Can we reverse the flow?
We must destroy the machine. He stands up, regardless of what it does to this city.
Say goodbye, Miami.
Or excuse me, he says, you must destroy this machine, regardless of what it does to the city. And then he grabs his brother and flies off.
You mother...
Great.
I'm gonna find you and choke you with your own spine!
So that is the August out of the way. Helios, is your go.
I'm gonna run the fuck over there and just grab TeknoAXE and Transmuter. We need to make energy go back into Dad now, or we all die.
Transmuter, you know he's wrong.
I'll proclaim that the So you're saying I've always heard mumbling like all growing up?
No. That was Seth. Seth, this is the only time you've heard him, but you were feeling compelled.
Okay.
Your compulsive behavior is that you believe these voices, and they're telling you to keep doing what you're doing.
I will say we don't have anything to worry about. We're safely containing the energy. This is exactly what we need to do.
Look up at what is coming out of his chest. That is the whole, what they just said, what the Vasilites just said. That is the hole to the quell kicks. If it gets, he's holding it. He's been holding it inside of him. That's why he's been having those outbursts.
Zach, give me an awareness roll.
Can I? Yeah.
I'm gonna tap. I don't have anything I could really tap here, so.
You give yourself some trouble.
Yes, you know what? I am going to just tap this bundle of dysfunctional bundle of easily exploited issues to give myself the panicked quality.
Okay.
So like it's just coming out a little bit of a jumble that Dad took the portal inside of himself. The Vassalites said it themselves. The more power that we drain off him, the less he's able to hold it inside. And if he isn't able to hold it inside, then the quill kicks come here and everything dies. I think they're inside your head.
And as you're saying that, you're looking right at her eyes, and you see her pupils are freakishly large at the moment.
Oh, God.
My pupils?
Yes,
as Mita's
transmitters.
pupils? Ah.
You almost get the impression of her pupils are like eating her irises, sort of thing. Like they're bigger than should be possible. I mean, not that Helios is an expert on the human eye, but
What large eyes do I have?
The better to eat the world with.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Then it's TeknoAXE's turn. Are we about to die?
Maybe-ish.
I wouldn't say that, but die well. That's obviously Curtis, not Seth.
She starts messing around on the computer. The lightning rod thing. It's draining the power from the machine and just kind of pumping it into the world, or pumping it into the earth. Almost like grounding out electricity. We don't. The battery's not empty yet, but we don't have all the power to pump back into him. Even if we could kind of reverse the flow. Oh wait, I can reverse the flow. Oh, but not with the lightning rod thing in the way.
All right, I will throw it into the sun, and or the closest object.
Seth, it's your go.
So she said the lightning rod is in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and we're calling it lightning rod. This is a big something that kind of juts at an angle. Think of it at least like I'm picturing it at least like phone pole diameter, and made out of some kind of metal you don't recognize. But yes, she said it's in the way.
So we're concerned because my initial thought is just break the lightning rod.
Mm-hmm. That seems like a Seth sort of thing to do.
Are we thinking we need? Are we thinking we need to get that energy back to the Primus quickly? Or he ought to recover on its own, I hope.
She has said that she can reverse the flow of power.
If we get the lightning rod out of the way.
But the lightning rod is in the way.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going after the lightning rod.
All right.
The Shadow Strike.
Okay. All right, it is not hard to hit. And you do 8 points of damage.
Yes.
I never did decide what the material strength of the thing was.
That's a good question.
I mean, because Transmuter can make up to like level 8 or 9.
Up to 9.
But that's not necessarily what this stuff was made out of. So I'm going to roll a d6 plus
Right.
2. And that will be... Alright, so it is a material strength of 6. So Seth Agua runs up. He manages to slash through basically cutting the pole in half. So the part that's stretching into in between the coils drops to the ground. Or drops to the bottom of the platform. No longer grounding out in the earth.
It ain't in the way no more.
Now it's my turn to shout out now.
Yes, kind of. Puppet advances towards your father, stepping kind of in and amongst the coils. Transmuter. This is the round. This is the round that you're. This is the round that you're under the compulsion.
Right.
And the voice is what you keep doing what you were doing. No, fix it.
So, her plan is to. I'm sorry. Yeah, my plan is to rebuild premium. I'm trying to make up an alloy name. The rod. We'll just keep calling it the rod. And the whole time I think she's going to start. I think this is the time where she starts kind of like voicing her kind of like her pent up emotional issues over the course of this 10-part series. And it'll basically be stuff along the line of how one thing that's occurred to me is how Helios always had like the most direct relationship with Cliff, as he likes to call the Primus. And meanwhile, you have Transmuter, who's always who's always modeled herself after the Primus, and yet never had like that direct connection or even that direct training. Instead, she's had to endure the likes of the Oxford Commando, and I think she just starts kind of like doing a bit of emotional vomiting towards Helios, basically something along the lines of how you're not the only one who knows how to do things. And I'm thinking from just the fact that she's receiving these voices who are telling her to do this thing, and it's probably the first time she's ever had like any kind of semblance of positive mentor reinforcement, even if it is in the form of this disembodied alien voice that she has no idea what it is or has encountered before. And I think that's a lot of that whole dynamic has contributed to why she's like fallen so hard under their sway. And yeah, so basically that's what she's responding as. She starts to rebuild, kind of like reform more of the rod, whether maybe it's from the. I don't know if she's basically like resealing the fractured parts of the last one, or just creating a new one out of thin air to basically stand on top of that. Might be the latter. Yeah, I think that's what she's doing, and I don't know if I need to do another roll at this point.
No.
Seth will be like,
she's done it before. She knows how to do it now.
Seth will be like, I think Sis needs a hug.
And you see another one of those rods materialize out of the air as she turns air into. And then the Primus pulses again. It hits the rod, channels down into the earth, and you see that gap where it had gone from being, when you first noticed it, it was about the size of kind of the inside of the P on his chest. Now it's almost the width of his chest. And you can feel the wind moving past you into this opening now. Let's see, and those two guys are gone. Helios, you're up first.
Okay. Sis, I know you have a lot of built up issues over here. I love you, and I hate to do this to you, but I'm gonna have to do it. I'm just gonna rip up the spire and throw it into the ocean.
All right. When you touch the spire, it's like you're grabbing the rod. When you grab it, it's like you've grabbed an electrical fence, to use that analogy again. It's alarming. It's a little bit painful. And boy, you feel wide awake now. And you really pick this thing up easier than you thought you'd be able to. Give me a... I guess give me a strength roll. To see
Do I get any bonuses to that strength roll?
Your strength is usually a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Roll it like it's a 10.
Oof. Still good.
Okay. So yeah, you just chunk it eastward as far as you can. It is out of sight for the rest of you before the arc even starts its way down.
President in Chief Orbit clocks the August right in the back.
Maybe if he'd thrown it straight up.
But then do I want to give them more power?
No, good point.
Alright, TeknoAXE's turn. Do y'all want me to reverse the flow?
Yes! Yes! Jesus Christ, yes!
I'm just asking. I thought you guys was supposed to be like stoic in the face of this kind of danger.
No, we're all scared shitless.
Oh, well, good. I just thought I was the only one over here wetting myself.
TeknoAXE, I ain't stoic in my sleep.
So you hear the sound of the machinery change. The coil starts sending pulses back into the Primus. The aperture does not seem to be getting smaller, but it seems to have stopped expanding. Sithagua.
I am gonna go back to my. Actually, is Transmuter still under the sway?
You have no reason to think she's not at this point. You can definitely still hear the voices muttering to her.
So Seth does hear those voices too?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I was rolling to determine what I did. I
When your character is so chaotic that you're not even sure what they're going to do.
if I'm gonna Shadow Strike Transmuter. I don't want to kill her. If I don't want to make a killing blow if I can avoid that. Not that I.
All right, good.
I just want to run up and knife my sister, but I don't want it to kill her.
Well, I mean, if I can, like, I don't, that's his attack. Is the strike.
So, can I deploy the power defense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I guess I'll see how effective it is, and then I'll figure out what form it takes. Oh, what's the? Oh, there it is.
so he's running up and trying to claw you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't. I think I might have just like formed another like a shield out of primemium, which would just like completely shatter upon contact with the shadow attack. But it would at least block me from taking that hit.
Yeah, and that works. You
That'd be
you throw up that material, he slices through it. Slowing him down enough that you manage to take the step back so it doesn't hit you.
Is scattering everywhere like shrapnel.
Puppet has put his hands on your father. Kind of like he does when he's healing y'all. It has no visible effect on the aperture, but
it's not so good.
Transmuter.
Yeah. So, am I still under compulsion, or am I free to react as I think I would, given under these circumstances?
You're in between. You're confused.
I'm definitely confused.
You
In and out of character.
you still feel like you can kind of trust those voices, but there's a part of you that's starting to kind of go, well, wait a second now.
My biggest quandary is I don't know how I could, even if I do want to continue following the voices, I don't know how. I'm kind of outnumbered and outpowered in a lot of ways.
Give me a willpower roll.
Just
right
recreating. Sure.
Could I give them assist them with that willpower roll with like pep talk?
Sure. Difficulty is a 6. We don't have to roll for that, Helios. You just say you're assisting.
Okay.
All right, so Mike, you got a +2. You need to beat a 6 with her willpower.
So roll 1d6 plus 5 plus 2. I have 1 point of mental resistance. Does that do anything?
That would factor into it.
Delightful. And here we go.
Nice.
Oh, look at that. A massive whatever.
You realize stuff is weird. You realize that Helios being that upset, Seth being upset enough to attack you.
Yeah.
And he's talked to... I'm going to assume at some point that Seth would have mentioned the mumber.
Yeah.
So all that kind of clicks with you.
Over your...
And what Seth screamed earlier makes you realize he can hear what you're hearing, and if it's what's been bothering him all this time, and that lets you kind of throw their influence off.
Ah. Yeah, you probably told me about it during your visit.
Quite possibly.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it's only just now connected. Yeah.
So yes, Transmuter, you are completely back under your own volition. And Helios, you see her eyes kind of snap back to normal.
Mm.
Well, there might be a wall in the way, but anyway, whatever.
Yeah, I think at this point, Transmuter, yeah, she probably, she probably starts weeping out of under the duress of what just happened, and she'd probably just say, they sounded so real, and they sounded like they wanted to. They sounded like they wanted to help. She will choke that out through her tears to Seth, because he's the only one who really understands what else been going on.
Right.
And at that point, the Primus pulses again.
Oh.
It arcs out into the coils. The coils kind of repel it back. It flows into you see some of it kind of run into Puppet through his arms and then back into the Primus, and you see that aperture shiver slightly. Maybe it shrunk, but only a little bit. All right, Helios, your sister seems to be back to normal, though quite upset about something, or upset about the stuff that just happened.
I'm just gonna go over there and just pull her into a tight hug. Hey, things mess with their heads. That's kind of part of this job. Yeah. and I'm gonna just keep holding on to her with one arm over her shoulder and see if I can't help speed up the process of the machine.
All right, how you gonna try to do that?
Just go over the controls and just look over them.
I think the issue is the machine doesn't have juice to channel back to the Primus. Am I right?
It's TeknoAXE's turn. So, yeah, TeknoAXE's like, we've emptied the battery back into him. All it's doing now is catching those pulses and immediately putting them back into him. I got a weird spike with the last one.
So I think we need to start dumping our energy into him.
How is the question?
I could make a conduit with premium from between us and Dad. I promise I'll have it directed towards.
In shadow form, the shadows aren't energy.
No, they're kind of a lack of energy.
That was rude.
I was like, if I could channel myself through the coils to the Primus to close that up. I wonder. I'm going to see what happens when I cover up and touch the portal.
Okay. You walk up. Yeah, you touching the portal, your hand just goes through it like it's a hole. And it feels bitterly cold on the other side.
Not going to close it.
In fact, with the suction, it takes some effort to pull it back out.
It's like Prince of Darkness, man.
You know, like you have to brace against. It's like you have to brace against your dad. Pull it back out.
Bag is not a toy, but then
Man. I'm kind of stumped where we're going to get the energy from. I mean, we're the primes. If you could siphon our energy to do it, that would work, but wiring ourselves to that machine is not something my character would have a clue about.
Mm-hmm. Puppet tells you something's wrong. He's feeling a little weaker.
Who's feeling weaker?
Puppet.
Prime.
No, Puppet. Prime's not talking yet.
Oh, Puppet's feeling weaker.
Transmuter, what are you going to do?
I'm going to see if I can employ the conduit plan. I'll just, well, I think maybe I'll just start with myself and see what it does to me before I try to bring in any of the siblings and any of the brothers into this. But I would like to just basically create like surround myself in the rod material, and then just continue constructing so that it wraps around the Primus, and see if I need to do another science roll to figure out how to enact a flow in energy from me to him.
Yeah, go ahead and give me that science roll. 6 is the number to beat. Oh, the dice roller is really favoring y'all right now.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do this straight up. I don't think she'd be pulling any more quality whammies right away, given the duress of that last experience. So we'll slash Roll 1d6 plus 4 plus 1. And it's a tie.
Marginal success. Maybe if you made a wire of the stuff around you and either touched him or touched the portal, you're not really sure.
Okay, I can move in closer and hopefully next page try again at a closer range.
Okay. All right, so you're up there. So you, Seth, and Transmuter, Seth, and Puppet are all up there crowded around the Primus. Then he pulses. You feel the pulse pass through you. You feel a little pepped up. Not as much as you did. It's the two of you that have, or the Hilo saying that right. Transmuter is not as much as when that arc hit you. But then it hits the coils. The coils push it back, and when it hits you going back through the other way, you feel reduced. You feel tired. Not tired, but you feel like something's taken out of you.
But
and you
does
see
that,
you see
does
the
that happen
aperture. You see the aperture close slightly.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Like
so
there's
we
no
need to get
doubt.
the
There's no doubt that it shrank a little bit this time.
So we need to get the feedback from the coils to go to the aperture, not Primus.
Either or. I mean, it's kind of hitting all over right now. So. Helios.
Could you make a rod or cable that just feeds it straight to the aperture? Not to Dad, not out into the sky, just straight to the quill kick on the other side.
Yeah, I can construct that.
All right, Helios, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna come, get right up there with them, and just put my hand on their backs.
So you just kind of come up, big group hug.
Yep. You're the smartest person here, Transmuter. I trust whatever you do here.
Am I?
Right. So y'all are all
I
hugged
got
up
a 4
there.
in intellect.
It doesn't matter if it's true. He's pepping you up. It's a pep talk.
I thought Puppet was the smartest one of us.
Actually, that's quite possible. He's got an intellect of 5, so maybe.
Yeah.
But not by some massive margin.
No.
All right, so the plan seems to be the wire thing. So we'll skip back to Transmuter. Are you going to take the sets, or whoever suggested it was?
Yeah, I'll. So am I creating the connection between us and the aperture to flow our power primeval into the aperture?
I don't think we can channel our power, but we can channel what's coming out through those coils.
Okay, so it's from the coils to the aperture.
Yeah.
From coils.
Because the Primus is giving off power, we're not.
Gotcha. I will do that thing.
Give me an intellect. I guess science would still factor into this.
All right. Do I have a roll for? Wait, do I have a science roll built in?
Difficulty.
Oh, there it is.
All right, difficulty's a 9.
Fella, you need to sit on the toilet.
No.
Your underwear.
Okay.
That's why I get.
You make the wire connected to the coils, and you feed it down into the hole. The next time the Primus pulses, it flows out. It hits the wires, or it hits the coils, funnels around into the hole. All of you can hear this kind of high-pitched squeal on the other side. But it does not seem to have affected the aperture.
We hurt something.
I'm gonna lean over the aperture and just shout down, "You could go away right now! Appreciate it!"
All right.
So what is your next attempt going to be? Actually, does Puppet have something? No, he's got
I can't
medicine.
think of a way to add our energy to it. I mean, if we could, I'd gladly do it.
What if I made my? Would it be at all useful if I actually made myself part of the conduit? Like actually, like just.
Might be you use the same kind of energy. Is that what you're going?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to try next?
Yeah, I definitely want to do something different.
Could you hook me up to it also?
Yeah, I mean, is there a way that oh God, I've drawn a blank on her name already. We were just talking about her. Technique. Technique can wire us, drain our energy into the coils.
She'd have to put you in the same field as the Primus, and she doesn't know there's enough room in there for all of you.
There's room for me.
So you're gonna let Seth try to volunteer himself, or y'all gonna try to just wire yourselves together with the Primus?
So will it be me
suggested.
Will it be me and Seth or just Seth?
Well, you talked about wiring yourself to the Primus. Helios had gone, can you include me in that?
It'd probably be more effective if we all tried to pitch in at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
But as far as Seth is concerned, he won't take up space, so that saves.
Oh, because you'd just be like in our shadow, literally.
Yeah.
So transmuter, are you wiring everybody together with the primeval conductive material? We got to come up with the name of this thing.
Right.
For the alloy.
The alloy. Yeah, that's just that sounds dignified. The alloy.
Primadenium.
Sure. Let's do that. And I can connect myself and Helios, and Seth can merge into our shadow and hopefully still remain in. Well, does that, first of all, does that work? Does that allow Seth to remain also share in the contact?
They can still make contacts for my shadow to touch.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
I think just.
All right. So you complete. Yeah. Sorry, lost my word for a second there. So you create a section of this conductive material. It sounds like everybody's wanting to kind of grab onto it.
Yeah.
All right. You press some of it up against the Primus. The pulse goes off. Some of it drains directly. Some of it drains directly into the material as it's pulsing out. But then when it hits the coil sends it back. This time, you can all definitely feel that it passes through you, and then it's pulling more with it. And the aperture starts shutting, and every time it pulses, it shuts some more. But you're all feeling more and more drained.
This is in the right direction. This is the right direction.
Yeah, it's.
Question is, how much longer can we last?
Back.
Oh, didn't know you'd go. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Is Puppet able to heal us while we're?
Puppet was losing energy too.
Okay.
Yeah, he was already feeling a little tired because he'd already been standing in there through multiple pulses.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What your conduit seems to be doing is focusing all of that energy back into the Primus.
Okay.
Eventually, the aperture seems to seal up completely. Excuse me. And there's beginning to be longer and longer periods between the Primus's pulses.
Do I get turned into human form
at some
or get
point,
dissolved?
At some point, you fall back to human form. Yes. TeknoAXE's like, okay, that seems to be working. That weird anti-energy signature seems to be gone. But he's but that primary energy source that seems to be building up.
What do you mean building up?
It's really, really spiking, and y'all notice the Primus is starting to glow.
Oh boy.
Did we just turn Dad into a bomb?
Well,
I hate it when that happens.
Look, I don't know if he's gonna be a bomb. Let's just say if I thought I could run far enough away, I'd be running by now.
Do I have energy left enough to fly?
Wake up, Papa.
No.
Wake up.
Is Seth like popping on the cheek as he says this?
Yeah.
The Primus's eyes snap open.
Ooh.
What? Where am I? Who are you?
Oh.
And then
Hi, we're your kids. Are you about to explode?
When he sees the rest of you, he's like, kids? Wait. And then he looks back down at Seth. Are you one of mine? And then there's an eruption of light as he pulses again.
What? Oh no.
You hear TeknoAXE, oh crap. The coils blow away. Y'all are set flying. You also feel kind of juiced up though. That juiced up feeling hits you as concussive force hits you and you go flying. You're not knocked unconscious, but you're knocked prone. When you look up, the Primus is floating there above a small crater. All the machinery's wrecked and like tossed around. There's some damage to your outfits, but you feel fine. Actually, you feel pretty good. When Puppet sits up, he looks noticeably better.
Like solidified? Like flesh
yes. He's not 100% better. And as the team's been doing stuff, you've seen him get progressively slightly better. But it's like he's taking a big step forward this time. He still wouldn't necessarily pass for normal, but it's a lot closer now.
I could get out my phone and show him. Check this out.
And the Primus is floating there for a second, and then the light around him kind of sputters, and he drops down into that crater.
Oh.
But he comes crawling out. He's calling, well, not Seth, but all the rest of you, he's calling your name. One after the other, asking if you're all right. But when he gets up, he seems a little woozy when he gets up to the top, because it's not a deep crater. And we're just gonna say he happens to be closer to Helios. And had Helios started superheroing before the Primus's sacrifice?
No.
Okay.
No, Cliff kept thoroughly not out and out saying it, but him implying that he was not ready to go out and do the superhero crap. If he wanted to do the superhero crap.
So yeah, he's closer to you. He kind of staggers over to you. Dan, are you okay?
I'm fine. Are you okay, mister? I'm going to swallow a portal to hell.
Well, the machine was supposed to close it, but it couldn't keep it closed.
Okay,
And he kind of spaces out for a second and then kind of shakes. Sorry, it's a thing.
You don't got any cosmic horrors rattling around in your skull right now, do you? Like, we just had that with Transmuter. We've had that going on apparently with fucking Seth.
Hi,
We
Paul.
don't
by the
need
way.
you snapping like a twig.
No, I'm good. Well, not great. I'm not great, but I'm good.
Do you feel like you're about to, start firing off death rays like you were?
Was I?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh, I always wanted eye beams.
That was kind
Never
of
had the points
whatever
to
was
buy 'em.
inconvenient.
But he helps you up, and then he shovels over to
Beams.
check on Transmuter. Turn that off. And I'm blanking on Transmuter's real name.
Marcella.
Marcella, he helps. Marcella, let me help you out. So you've met Dan, and he looks over at Puppet, and it's just kind of like, David? Son, what happened to you? And Puppet goes into an explanation. Oh, and you've all met each other now.
Yeah, about that. I'm gonna just slug him across the face.
Ooh.
You never told me I had siblings, you freaking jackass! What is wrong with you?
Whoa.
I'm just gonna kick him in the leg.
And when you do the punch, he goes flying.
Did I kill him?
No.
No,
Punches
don't kill him.
Punches don't do killing damage.
I just want to be sure.
But he goes flying, hits the ground, he skips a couple times. And then slowly gets back up.
Does he get back up?
He said he slowly gets back up. That hurt way more than it should have.
I've gotten a lot stronger since you, big air quotes, died. Heroically.
It's part of the
That's
job
unfair.
sometimes.
That was actually, I'm sorry about the big air quotes around heroically. I'm just very wired right now.
So he walks up to Seth. So this is he looks over at Marcella. So this is another one of mine.
Seth will just grin.
Yeah. Dad, meet, and I give out your full Seth, your full proper name, not Seth Agua.
Yeah, Seth Orwin.
Oh. He reaches over and gives you a hug. Oh, kid, I'm so sorry I never found you. What do you do?
Guess I'll turn back into shadows. Scary shadows.
Huh. Would not have thought of that being something you could do with what I do. Not that I understand what I do, so I don't guess it makes so much sense anything. So how did all of you run into each other?
Grandma East gathered us up.
There's a pause as he dissects that in his head. And then okay, so Sharon, okay. He's like Grandma Niece.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
As you're talking, Sharon brings the sedan in and lands it. She runs out. She hugs her granddad, takes a step back, and then she slaps the piss out of him.
Oh boy!
And calls him a jackass, just like Helios did. He doesn't go flying this time, but it does turn his head, and he goes, "That hurt more than it should have."
Oh.
Ruh-roh.
Sharon looks alarmed, but she's ushering everybody onto the. As y'all all go in, she looks around. Helios, where'd your little friend go?
Yeah, where is TeknoAXE?
Yeah, said nothing about looking for.
Okay, I'll just pull out my phone and text her and say, hey, everything's fine, nothing's gonna explode. Thank you so much for the help. Still owe you a favor.
By the way, how's the rest of Miami?
Yeah.
You don't get a response from her for about a half hour. And then the response you get is, "You jackass! I was knocked into the woods. I was unconscious.
Oh shit!
Lose my number."
Wah, wah.
I'm sorry. I thought you just bolted because guy was turning into a bomb.
You get 3 texts back from her. The first one is lose. The second one is mine. And the third one is number. Exclamation points, all cap letters.
Yeah, I don't reply to anything about that.
Well, that's one favor you don't have to pay back.
As far as Miami, the troops you brought in managed to take care of Crom. No, it is. It's spelled Croom. It may be pronounced more like Crom. I forget. Some guy is a name out of history. Anyway. But yeah, they managed to take down the possessed folks. As you fly into town, Puppet and other people with healing abilities, the healers are able to start turning the people back to normal. It's a long process. He'd built up quite a large force. Dynaman seems to be super pleased with himself about, he took down, taking down Kroom. He national headline. Puppet lets all y'all know how super pleased he is with himself. He's always been big in the Seattle area. He's never managed to make a big splash internationally, except by getting his ass kicked by the Vasilev.
Vasilev cheats.
This is true. This is true, but that's still the only thing that caused Dynaman to get in like national news. There are reports of the Crucible and Reliquary fighting, but that seemed to have been inconclusive. And the Crucible doesn't want to talk about it when all the heroes get back up. All right, let's see. So, a lot of damage in Miami, but that's being repaired. The Vasilevs, or I keep calling that because y'all call it the August, are still on the loose and are still a threat. From what you can tell with the machine, they were planning to use the Primus's power, because once she calms down, TeknoAXE does send you the other information she had gotten out of the machine. Yeah, they were planning to use. They were planning to store up his power and then use it to charge themselves up. Apparently, they are not quite to the power level of their progenitor, and they were trying to bootstrap themselves up to that.
What's the possibility they might have been influenced by the quill kick through some lingering connection they have to their progenitor?
You have
perhaps through a chorus of voices.
You have no information that would prove or disprove that. They talked about him like he was mad. That it was his failure to repel the quill kick that caused him to shift like he did. And the second, and you remember that the second they realized they were opening a doorway to the quill kick, it was time to GTFO.
Yeah.
But major threat averted. Spear is taking an absolute pounding in the media. Tolliver tried to take the blame at the last minute, but that was after he'd snapped, and everybody believes the stuff he said while he was really angry. When he clearly kind of comes to himself and then starts trying to cover his tail, they're not buying it. Especially after he was one of those agents involved with the attempted mind control satellite thing a couple years ago.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Davis had their names dragged through the mud in that. So the media is pretty sure there's going to be some big shakeups in Spear later. The details of which y'all will find out later on, I'm sure. But when all is said and done, you get the Primus back home. He did not leave the sedan to go into Miami. So, no big public announcements about him.
Yeah.
And what you find is, while he's healthy, his powers are fluctuating.
But he's at least not giving off energy to cause problems.
There are very minor pulses every now and then. Knock his drink off his desk sort of stuff. But even they seem to be getting less and less frequent. Some days he can fly, some days he can only hover. His invulnerability is fluctuating greatly. Some days it seems to bother him. Other days he's like, I guess that just means it finally is time to retire. He has mixed feelings about all of y'all doing the superhero thing, though he has to admit you've been doing a pretty good job. So the big question from here on out is, are the Primes going to stay together as a super team?
Oh, I think we should.
Yeah, I mean, we're really dang effective when we work together.
And, since Spear's out of commission right now, they're in trouble and their supers are off planet. Someone's got to pick up the slack.
Right?
Yeah.
And if Dad's powers are fluctuating, the Primes will have to step in.
So the team was put together to replace the Primus when they thought he was dead, and now that he's not, but clearly having to retire, really that need for the Primes is still there. So for the moment, the Primes are the, if I can use the word, the primary team on the planet.
But the Primus could actually help train us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he absolutely will.
Mm.
He's not gonna take it easy on you like Sharon did. So that wraps it up for the Primes. And this season. This is the end of our anthology season.
Yeah.
There's still a little talking to do over exactly what we're doing next season. The season will definitely start off with us doing a storyline with some super criminals. Not complete psychos, but not necessarily great people.
Fun heist criminals.
Yes, name forthcoming. And we're still debating whether it's going to be that story's going to be the entire season or whether we'll divide the season into 2 stories. We'll probably have most of that settled in 2 weeks when we come back.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody
I think
watching,
we've all got our characters ready.
Yeah, I think you've got the characters ready for the heist, capers, whatever we end up calling it. So anybody that came by and listened or watched, I hope you'll come back in 2 weeks when we do this all again, starting up our new season.
We'll be bad.
So anyway, I was your Game Master for the day, Jason, and with me was Mike as Transmuter.
Good night, everyone.
Curtis as Seth Agua.
Laters.
And Zach as Helios.
Thank you for joining us.
And we will see y'all next time.